that's where he finished school. So
he went to Ipswich State High, thank you.
now the Melbourne Storm have got a very blank, i.e. in the French term blank's white, isn't it? Yeah, it's a very white away strip, only with a light chevron of purple and gold on their chest, but essentially they're all white with purple trim and purple numbers.
I like it.
And Parramatta has got that best looking Parramatta jersey, which is half yellow down the bottom, half blue up the top, and the yellow and blue stripes in the middle. I love that look. Yeah, it's the best Parramatta look. And let's see what we've got. Last game of the Saturday of Magic Round 2026 on ABC Sport. Here we go. Silfire Longo kicks off. Melbourne start the game by booting it to the Caxton Street end. Parra's first possession, and Jack Williams first carry for the Eels. A dozen from the goal line at that northern end. The playing surface looks in really good condition. Third game of the day, and we've hardly had any bad weather, which is great news. Touchwood. Geimer second carry to the 20, and now De Bellin play 3 just beyond the 20-metre line. Jack De Bellin will play it here for the Eels. De Silva out at dummy half, gives it on to Moretti. Luca Moretti to deck 15 from halfway. Quick to play the ball. De Silva distributes to Moses. Inside the 40, kicks downfield. End of set, threatens Western touchline, but Fa'alongo is there to gather at 15 from his own line. And he started with the headgear on tonight, saw Fa'alongo, as he gets up to the 30. That's one thing you've got to watch out for, Clinton. He goes from headgear on to headgear off, Saul Fa'alongo. Things that commentators notice, and I'm sure casual observers as well.
Harry Grant's got a bit of that in him as well.
Howarth's second carry, and now Moses Leo comes in for a run, and he's 5 inside his own half. Grant one-handed pickup, gives it to the left for Blore, and Sean Blore's put down near the Magic Round logo, just attacking side of halfway. Again, one-handed pickup. Grant passes infield to the aforementioned under pressure Queensland representative in Trent Liero. Stop 35 out centre field. Last play here for Melbourne at the end of their first set. Jerome Hughes puts up a bomb. Addo Carr's underneath the defensive left corner for the Eels, and the Fox catches it. He's immediately tackled by Warbrick, and the Eels have got this ball through one set apiece. Parramatta on their own 10. No score early on.
Yeah, great start from both teams. Just feeling their way into this match, and Josh Addo Carr getting a nice early carry on that left side as he works his way up over the 20-metre line.
Plays it out on that left edge, and De Bellin runs into the defensive line. 11 inches from that eastern touchline. Midway goal line and halfway, past the right and centre field from Moses. Gives it to Moretti for a straightener. Goes to the 30, gets up to play the ball really quickly. De Silva passes to Moses, and he'll boot downfield again at the end of the set. Right foot deep, and it's caught by Fa'alongo very comfortably on his chest on the 10. He circles a bit. Now he goes on the gallop, puts on that goose step, but he's reeled in around the ankles. Great tackle there by the chase of Williams. Warbrick comes off his wing for a little bit of a run. Got to the 30 and plays it quickly as he's tackled. Hughes now jumps out of dummy half. He's got the purple headgear on again tonight, Hughes. Stopped on the 40. Plays the ball there to Mini coming out of dummy half. Tackle 5 inside Melbourne territory. No score early on here. Game 3 of the Saturday Magic Round on ABC Sport. Charging run there from Uda Ikamanu, and there's a man lying in the ruck. Harry Grant allows him to lie there, made sure the referee took notice, and we get the 6 again. So that was last play coming up for Melbourne. Now they get a fresh set. King goes forward. He's 35 out. Next carry is Liero to the 30. He stopped to play at centre field. Grant jumps out of dummy half. Chip for Fa'alongo. It's in the in-goal area and goes dead off the boot of Papali. I think this will be a goal line dropout. Peter Goff's the ref.
Make sure there's no push in the back here, and then whether it's actually come off Melbourne or Parramatta before it goes dead.
He's done well here if he hasn't played it, but I think you're right, Q. He might have just got the left boot on it.
It'd been held up right near the dead ball line, and that was a set play, play 3. Harry Grant with the chip for Fa'alongo coming through. And Joash Papali is trying to security guard it over, and it may have grazed his shin before it went dead.
I think the hand in the back's enough, though, for a penalty. It's not forceful, but it just keeps putting him off his balance.
Moment here.
Chris
He
Butler's
pushes
in the bunker.
Josh in the back, which is a penalty. We have a decision.
Very well called, Zane Bojack.
Look at you.
By the way, remember last night when Matthew and Croydon asked you for whispering Bojack to tell his boys to go to sleep?
Yes, did they?
Yeah, they did, and he's texted again. He said, can I impose whispering Bojack to tell William and James that it's time to go to bed again and listen to the footy in bed?
Go to bed, William and James, but keep listening to the footy on ABC Sport. This game's going to be a cracker.
Good on you. There you go, boys. Thank you, Matthew. 0467 920 222. Penalty Parramatta, and they kick downfield, take the tap, and Sam Rani is held up in a three-man tackle and pushed back a couple of metres. He'll play it 5 in from the western side and 5 from halfway. 0-0. Papali passes infield to Tuolangi. Helmer Tuolangi just beyond halfway as he gets to his feet and plays the ball there. De Silva left and centre field with the pass to De Bellin through Moses. Then onto the hit and spin of Moretti. Loses the ball though, Luca Moretti. A mistake from Parramatta, cleaned up from the Storm. And Fail Lonor is tackled 12 from halfway, so there is a mistake from the Eels and it's given the Storm possession. Warbrick has a run down the middle third, stops 7 inside his own half. Now off right shoulder of Grant goes King. Josh King just into Parramatta territory out in the right edge. Grant now back to left and centre field through Liero to Munster. Holds it, gives it eventually to Howard. Running laterally in the middle of the field, now tries to straighten up, but gets taken down by Moretti. 42 out. Grant out of dummy half again, takes a metre or two before passing to Uduika Manu, who gets taken down 29 metres out. Couple of plays left for the Storm, still no score. Munster gives it left, out towards the edge. Howard is cut down by the tackle of Samrani. 15 out, last play Storm, back to the blind side. Little combo, and the pass from Leo is intercepted, but offside is the call. Sean Russell, it was Samrani who intercepted it, and he was about to fly away. That referee, Goff, says he was offside.
Yeah, got him offside there. He was really good last week, Samrani, as well. When he started this game, a couple of nice carries. I thought he got himself an intercept there. He was away too. He had open space in front of him.
As the Storm will have another crack at the line here. Sean Bloor with the first carry. Only 7 metres out, 10 to the left of the uprights. 5 minutes played, no score. Munster centre field, directs it right for Hughes. Feeds the inside line of Lasardi out on the right edge, and he's put down 10 from the goal line. Now Grant holds it up for King's run towards the 8th pole. Took 2 in contact, flicked it out. The bat's a bit loose. Grant cleans up, gives it to a flat-footed Munster, gives it to a flat-footed Uduika Manu. So the offload sort of didn't create any forward football, so to speak, and Uduika Manu's tackled. Only 8 metres out still. Grant feigns left, but goes right with a pass to Hughes. Second man, Paul Plaza. Great ball to Meany, but he is tackled on the goal line. Try saver from Russell. Back to the left. Loose passes at the boots of Hughes. He let it roll past him. Munster cleans up. Grubbers for the in-goal. Blows on the chase, but it's taken by Brian Kelly of the Eels. And the veteran winger is tackled 15 from his own line. Parramatta survived that early question and will get a penalty here. Penalty against the Storm, and the Eels will get a cheap trip downfield. No score through 6.5 minutes. Quentin Hull, Clinton Chipovsky and Zane Bojack with you for Game 3 of Saturday's Magic Round 2026 on ABC Sport. Cowboys just beat the Roosters 18-12 earlier today. A carve up as Manly flogged Wests 46-18. Kick does find touch just short of halfway. First carry gets Parramatta into attacking territory through the services of Russell. He plays it on the left edge. Now De Silva swings a long ball to right and centre field. Moses gives it on to Williams. Stopped in the middle of Lang Park, Jack Williams for Parramatta. De Silva to the right for Moses. Runs out the line. Pop ball to Alangi. Runs into 3 defenders and is taken down. Right edge and 35 metres from Melbourne's line. De Silva back left and centre field. Moses gives it to De Bellin on a straightening run. And the veteran lock stands and is held under tackle by 3 defenders. Plays the ball 30 out. De Silva to the left. Moses runs at the line. Got the pass away. Through to Boltman. Now out to the edge. And Russell gets through a tackle. And Russell scores the first try of the game for Parramatta. The Eels strike first against the Storm. And the Perth-bound Sean Russell scores his 4th try of the campaign. Parramatta 4, Melbourne 0. Kick to come.
Sean Russell, what a play. He saved one down the other end, Q, with a beautiful try-saving tackle. It was in for all money, the Melbourne attacker, but it was a great tackle on last play. Comes down the other end. Mitch Moses takes the ball on that left side, plays really direct, goes right to the line. He got one for his troubles too. Trent Lario hit him late, right in the back too. I reckon they'll look at that one. But he drew him in, got the ball to the edge, and Sean Russell, he's really found some form in this season. I think they've got a real good pick-up there, the Bears, Zano.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brad Talon picked it up with what you mentioned with Liero, so that's going to be interesting if he does perhaps get picked by Queensland, whether they have to wait for a judiciary decision or whatever. One thing I will say is we actually had Bear on there because Nick Beatting's on his way over to Perth as well, and of course it was Sean Russell who not only saved the try at the other end, but then beat him, all ends up and goes over to score. So two Bears going head-to-head, and it's 1-0 to Russell and the Eels.
Perhaps 2-0 when you count that tackle as well down the other end. So no, I get your point, but
that was a 12-point try. It was.
Yeah, he's had a very good couple of minutes, Sean Russell. And now Mitchell Moses will try and add the extras, 23 metres out and 2 metres in from touch on the left wing side. Moses has kicked 28 goals from 41 attempts. So a little bit down by his standards.
Absolutely. He's an 80% plus goal kicker.
He approaches, strikes with his right boot. That looks pretty good. But across the face, and a ball kid who tried to catch that, got whacked in the head because he misjudged the flight, and now the ball kid's mate's got his left hand on his back and consoling him. The poor fella's been absolutely falconed. These are the kind of little things that happen around the game that we love to tell you about. Put your bum inside the stadium. Oh, he's all right, that kid now. He's bruised ego, probably more than head. But it's sconed him. The kick missed. It's 4-0.
Right in the snoosh. Man,
poor bugger.
Him out. Oh, he's about 4 foot tall, the little fella. There's nothing of him.
Longo with the restart. Kicks it into the in-goal area. Volkman takes it and it's trucked forward by Williams. Tackled 10 from his own line. Let's head around the ground. Full time in the Queensland Cup. Burley's beaten Mackay by a point. Close one there. Burley Bears 14, Mackay Cutters 13. AFL first quarter, Western Bulldogs 2-1-13. Lead Carlton 1-5-11. Super Rugby out west, Force 7, Reds 0. Super Netball half-time, Giants 39, Firebirds 33. Parramatta still working the ball upfield here as it's played by Semrani, and now DeBellin runs it into the defensive line and takes Parra to within 8 metres of halfway. In the centre third here of Lane Park, end of set, and Moses will boot high and deep downfield. Caught comfortably by Fa'alongo, and he puts on that little step again before meeting the defence and taking midway goal line and halfway.
Yeah, look, I looked trying to expose him at the back there, Fa'alongo, under the high ball. He's been good to start the season. I think a little man, but look to him kick high to him all night here this evening.
Left edge as Howarth goes up towards halfway. Here the Magic Round logo when taken, just his own side of halfway. Grant one-handed pick up at dummy half, gives to Blore. Blore's put down. 15 in from touch on the left and 42 metres from the Eels line, and that tackle, gee, that's harsh. That is a very harsh ruck infringement.
Yep.
And that's 6 more for the Storm. I don't mind the rule like many, but you've got to sort of make sure there's something in it instead of just giving it away so cheaply. I reckon that's a cheap one for the Storm there by Peter Goff. As Melbourne on the attack now, Lasardi stopped 20 out. Left and centre field, given it. Hughes on the Munster, through the hands to the edge. And Moses Leo gets through Sam Rani to score in the left corner for Melbourne. Off the back of that 6 again. It's a good finish. I'll try not to labour the point. I like what the 6 again's done to the game. If it's adjudicated well, I don't think it was adjudicated well in that set.
Yeah, I agree, Q. It was tackle 4, I think, late in their count. They had one earlier on as well, so put a real lot of pressure on them. And they look like they had it covered from up here. Just got on the outside of Semrani. The winger had to bite in. Really nice finish from Leo. He's just put the gas on as he's got round Semrani. Got down low, finished that beautifully. Back into first grade as well, Zano.
Absolutely, and you know what? He's in sevens representative for New Zealand. He's also played rugby for North Harbour in the NPC. He's got some toe, and he's not a bloke that you want to be showing the outside to. So he's already taken the opportunity to go outside and put the ball down. The Storm needed that, but they also got a little bit of a of a hand, didn't they, with those 6 agains, as Nick Meaney's about to take this conversion from right in front of me here, Q. He's probably got it about, I'd say, 80 centimetres inside the whitewash.
Yeah, it's right in your zone, Zano. I've had a big day already. Help me out here. Call it through.
Okay, whispering zone. Here he goes. He's got the red fluoro boots on. He steps back. He pauses. Comes in, strikes it. It's heading towards the upright and comes just past the near post. No goal. So Meaney unfortunately couldn't convert. Neither could Moses. And so we've got none from one for both. And it's 4 points all between the Eels and the Storm.
Great work from Zane Bojack, who was positioned 25 metres from the northern in goal and literally was about 4 metres away from Nick Meaney kicking that.
And the only man closer was the great Brad Talon. He's in the box seat.
He's sitting down there. We've got a text from Mark on the Central Coast. G'day, Mark, on 0467920222. He says, Quentin, as long as that young fella behind the sticks doesn't have to go to the head bin. I reckon he probably would. The bunker would have sent that young kid to the HIA.
I reckon he might have a bleeding nose.
After he got that one from Moses. 4-all, restart, Parramatta, caught by Hughes, and given to Udawikamana, who just gets beyond the 10-metre line. So Melbourne at that southern end as King goes up to the 20. And looking around, the house is probably 60%, 65% full. They always get people sort of coming and going when they've got 3 games on this Saturday, but it's a good feel. It's a nice night in Brisbane, and this hopefully is an entertaining end to this Saturday of Magic Round. Glad you could stick with us here on ABC Sport as Munster goes on a run for Melbourne on halfway before being dragged down in the tackle of Samrani. Ball played to Grant, passes infield to Hughes. You hear the boot go into the Steeden from 45 out. It's a bomb which is well caught by Papali, and penalty goes to Parramatta because the tackle of Howard was high.
Yeah, he was brave there. Papali, he had to stand his ground. I thought he might have jumped for that one, but he kept his feet on the ground, so he's an open target.
I agree with that decision. I just think
the chest on, wasn't it, Zona?
There was nothing wrong with that.
No.
Timed it perfectly. Jack Houth knew he wasn't going to be able to get the football, so he timed it to his brings to his feet. He was falling as well, but no, that's not a penalty.
G'day to Keith and Mel. They say they're off grid on the Condamine River near Killarney. We listen to you guys on the radio. You do an excellent job. No TV here. Go Bronx tomorrow. Cowboys win was unreal. Good on you, Keith and Mel. Thank you. 0467920222. Parramatta from that penalty kick downfield and now in the attacking half. 42 metres out as Williams plays the ball. Given on to Moretti for a one-out run, and Luca Moretti down the centre third, but 33 from the goal line went stopped. Back to the right. Moses runs at the line. Flat ball, quick service out of Tuolangi. He's tackled eventually by Munster out on that defensive left edge for Melbourne. Tuolangi will play the ball, 18 from the Melbourne line. Back to left and centre field. The pass to Moses, who serves it up for DeBellin. And DeBellin crashes to deck. 20 in from touch on the right. It doesn't out. Back to left and centre field. Moses receives. Chips for the goal line. It's a juggle. It's open. It's jumped on by Parra. Williams is claiming a try. What does referee Goff say? No.
Just looking to confirm there's a knock-on by Parramatta during that contest to take possession of the ball.
I reckon it was Sean Russell too. He got up high. Does he get there first?
So Russell was leaping with Meaney, and Russell definitely got first purchase, and it's touched
His head, which is first, just need to see whether there's knock-on happened.
touched the Melbourne player, so that's a knock-on from Russell. Even though Williams then grounded it, I think.
That's what they're checking now. Knock-on happens in the field of play. That's knock-on by Nick Handover. We have a decision. Play the ball 10 metres out.
Yeah, so no try. Knock-on Parramatta and a handover. 4-all the scoreline here. Almost 15 minutes played.
Low scoring in the earlier match. Roosters and Cowboys maybe looking that way again here. Q's pretty tight.
I like the way the game started, though, in a sense.
Yep.
These two teams, of course, have sort of had their moments this season. Parramatta have either been sort of really good or really poor at times, haven't they? They've been up and down. They look pretty good to start tonight as Fa'alongo is tackled. Melbourne on the 30, plays it to Grant, given to Udawikamanu, and he gains 8 metres right of the ruck, plays it 42 from the line he's defending. Now Grant pushes away from Marker over halfway, line break, pass to Munster, pass to Hughes, the triumvirate combined, he passes to the left for Fa'alongo, gets it to the edge for Howard, and Howard goes in the left corner for a Melbourne try. the trident of brilliance. Grant, Hughes, Munster. And then what happens? 4 points in the corner in the end. Melbourne lead 8-4.
Oh, that's as good as you get, Q. It's where you pay your money to come and watch it live. That was spectacular. Harry Grant, he had a slow start to the season, but he's just out of the box now. Look at that. He just recognises the ruck better than anyone. He knew the big forward was tired, pushed through the middle, found his support. They just played to the space. Palongo out to the left, and Jack Howarth, he's such a good player for this Melbourne Storm side. They're an 8-10 point better side when he's on the left side of the field for them. What a great try there, Zano.
You know what? Everyone's saying, Harry Grant and Cam Munster, they've been out of form. You can only do the things you can do with a 6 and a 9 if your forwards are going forward. In the last 2 weeks, they've been able to either be better or break even with their opposite forward pack, and that allows Harry and Cam to get out, because once they go forward, those two, they just get off the end of it. That was a fantastic pass there. Boylongo putting over Jack Howarth, and sadly, heading into the Dolphins game last year, prior to Magic Round, I think he was a chance of playing Origin, but he's a long way back now, Jack Howarth.
Speaking of Origin, if Laurie Daly doesn't play tape after tape after tape for his market defenders of what Harry Grant does out of dummy half, they're not preparing properly. Here comes Mini with the kick. He's got that one, Zano. He missed the previous from near you, and because you weren't calling and I was, he kicked that one.
Yes.
Well, maybe coincidence more than anything.
No, I buzzed him before, putting him off, and now he's been able to strike it beautifully, brought it inside that far post, and that's what the Melbourne Storm can do. This is the big thing that Para's got to watch out for. Last week, they were brilliant. They fell off in the last 20 minutes, but they just absolutely, in the first 20 minutes, tore the Tigers apart. The Eels, they've got to stick firm here. They've got to stay with the Melbourne Storm.
Parramatta conceding that try, and after scoring the first, they've conceded 2. It's 10-4 to Melbourne. Quentin Hull, Clinton Schifofsky and Zane Bojak with you. It's Magic Round on ABC Sport, last game of day 3. Around the grounds as Melbourne received the kickoff and King gets to the 10. Quarter time AFL. Bulldogs 4-1-25 lead the Blues 2-5-17. Super Rugby first half 4-7 Reds 7. Super Netball third quarter Giants 48, Firebirds 41. A-League men second semi-final, second leg. No score between Jets and Sydney FC. It's aggregate 1-1 there. That's a huge game, that one. A mistake though from Melbourne here. Just a reminder though, the winner of that game tonight plays Adelaide in the grand final.
Is it Auckland?
Auckland, I should say, yes. Auckland in the grand final after Auckland upset Adelaide yesterday, didn't they? So 1-1 aggregate, 0-0 so far in that game. So there was a mistake there, Quentin, while I was trying to take care of other matters. Scrum clock's gone off, Revs, so that's okay. Anyway, Parramatta have got the scrum lead. Ronald Bolton drops the ball. First carry off the scrum went to Parra. So it's a moot point now because Melbourne's got the ball back. Oh, that's a shame for the Eels. Mistake from Ronald Volkman filling in at 5'8". Janet Pezzett is back from suspension and eligible for selection, but they haven't elected to bring him back into the team this week as Warbrick goes just beyond halfway. He'll play at 45 metres from the Parramatta line. Grant gives to Udawika Manu, who takes the Storm to the red stripe of the 40 at the Caxton Street end that the Purple are attacking in this half. Purple sort of only in name only tonight, though, playing in a white strip, the Melbourne Storm. Munster with a run, stopped 28 metres out Middle Park. Grant one-hander pick up again. He just looks confident about his game. Goes to the right. Hughes passes to Lasati. Nice read in defence, though, from the Eels. Volkman was a part of a two-man tackle, which was led by Russell. He plays it out there, Lasati. Grant goes blindside, pops it up for Meany, runs into the defence, pops it back out the back to Grant. He tries a kick end of set and knocked it on him trying to do so. They rolled the dice on the last. Hand over Parramatta's ball. 19 minutes played here. Melbourne 10, lead Parramatta 4 after the Cowboys beat the Roosters 18-12 in the most recently completed game earlier today. Manly 46, West Tigers 18.
You're saying Harry Grant looks confident. He's toying with them out of dummy half. They don't know which way he's going. He has so much time on the footy. He's just got a rolling downhill, the Melbourne Storm. He's in for a big game here tonight.
Thanks to the blind Tiger for his text. Yep, we'll do my best. keeping everyone happy, keeping those scores coming through while we do the game as well. Part of what we do here on ABC Sport, keeping you updated as Parramatta get to Papali on halfway, passes to Russell, runs into Hughes and Uda Wikamanu, and they make the tackle, and Russell will get to his feet and play it 42 metres from the Storm's line. Back to right and centre field. Moses gives it on to Junior, and Junior Barlow starting on the bench today. He's tackled centre field and 41 out. Played to De Silva, given right to Moses. End of set from 40 out. Moses with a high kick. Leo meets it, catches it, and gets away from the tackler. He weaves up to the 40 to halfway. Gets past Papali. This is a stunning run from Moses Leo, but he got to the 20. Didn't have support. Tackled from behind by Addo-Carr, and the ball spills free. He's lost it. Knock on.
Great cover defence there, Josh Addo-Carr. If he doesn't turn up, I think he scores there, Q. He comes from that far left wing, his left wing. Didn't even see him coming, Moses Leo. Beautiful tackle, but he's square in the middle of the back. Dislodged the ball. Real let off there for the Parramatta Eels.
Zano on the touchline.
Look, it's terrible when you think you're in open space and someone comes from the blind side and absolutely smashes it, and usually they do a rib on you as well. So, yeah, great effort there by Josh Addo-Carr. He's someone in contention for your Blues team, Q.
Well, there's a lost ball here from Brian Kelly. One-on-one strip, but not gone by Munster in the act of stripping the ball. Yeah, just double check that, Zano. Of course, he's been on the last couple of kangaroo trips to the Northern Hemisphere at the end of the season. Hasn't played Origin for New South Wales for 2 years. So the last of his 15 state games was in Game 3 of 2023, but he's played, I think, half a dozen or more tests since then.
Well, the interesting thing is Latrell was injured last night. I think you're really taking a risk playing him. Bradman Best pulled out today. He can't go on. And, of course, Stephen Crichton, who they've been talking about, playing in the centres or putting on the wing, he's got a busted shoulder as well. So it's going to be interesting.
I'm going to throw one up. Jack Foster.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Junior Barlow with it for Parramatta. He's tackled 15 from halfway. Storm lead it by 10 points to 4. Now Williams runs down the middle third. Taken 3 metres his own side of halfway for the Eels. Talon De Silva at dummy half. Swings it right through Moses onto Tuolungi. Runs into Munster and also Bloor, and they make the tackle as the Eels just get beyond halfway. Now they roam into attacking territory and a run from Moses. Put down by the tackle of Grant and King. And that's 5, so someone else will need to execute the last play. It's Volkman with a high, deep kick at the end of the set. Warbrick catches it despite the company of Addo-Carr, and Warbrick then beats Addo-Carr and Russell and runs upfield before the Fox gets him from behind. Great catch and run from Warbrick. Storm start to set on their own 30.
Really into open spaces again there, Will Warbrick. He has his troubles under the high ball, but he swallowed that one and nearly broke away down that far side.
Munster dummying and dancing in the middle of Lang Park before being dragged down. The Queensland skipper, incumbent at least, plays it there. 45 metres out to the left. It's going through Fayalongo onto Howarth, and he's put down. 38 metres out. Grant picks up, goes blindside, gives to Munster. Right, he's got a couple of defenders around him. Arms free for an offload. Decide not to give it in the end, and plays it on 5. 25 metres out. Last play. It's Jerome Hughes with the bomb for Leo's wing. Leaping Leo got a hand to it, but couldn't control it to deck, and the Eels come up with the ball out there. Brian Kelly doing enough to ensure that Parramatta gets the football. 16 and a half to the break. Melbourne 10, Parramatta 4. Magic round on ABC Sport, the last game of this Saturday. We'll do it all again tomorrow. First game, 2 o'clock. It's Newcastle taking on Gold Coast. The Knights against the Titans, or Chargers tomorrow. They're playing in that old ARL Chargers script. And news coming through today, Bradman Best. Every time we get close to Origin, there's some soft tissue injury, it seems, with Bradman Best. He's not playing tomorrow, calf issue. Kick downfield at the end of the set from the Eels, and it finds the touchline. That wasn't from inside the 40, was it? From most? Just outside.
Step over.
Just outside.
Yeah, he was playing for it. He couldn't get his kick in quick enough. He knew what he was trying to do.
So, just outside from Mitchell Moses.
Yeah, foot on the line. Just hearing the referee there in my ears now. It was centimetres in that one, Zano.
I still remember that 24-decider here, Clinton. If you want to talk origin, Mitch Moses, he was superb that night when they won for the first time since 1994 in the decider up here, and he'll be a linchpin for them in this year's series if he's able to play all matches as well.
15 minutes to the break. Storm with the lead with the ball, 10-4. Here's the scoreline. Nutu Ekamanu just beyond the 30. And he'll get to his feet and play it here. Grant directs it to Liero, who runs down the middle third. What are you grunting and groaning about?
I just got a replay of that. His big toe was on the line.
Liero stops short of pass. Now Munster to the left, play along with dummies, and the dummy's not taken by Samrani, who makes the tackle. On the zippy Melbourne fullback, 40 from the power line. Back to the middle third. Davi Mawale's out there from Melbourne. And he's taken down 28 metres out, shifted to the right for Hughes, who will kick to the right wing, looking for the flying Warbrick. Who's up, he catches it, but he's got two Para defenders waiting for him. Immediately, Russell and Adokar tackle him. Hand over, Parramatta ball.
Yeah, 14 minutes remaining in this first half. Just get the feeling that the momentum's starting to swing in the favour of the Melbourne Storm. So, really big set coming up here in attack for the Parramatta Eels as they're just coming off their try line 10 metres out.
Clinton Schifosky with you on NRL Saturday here on ABC Sport. Para up to the 20 through Kelly's run, and they get a penalty here for a hold down in the ruck. And this will help the Eels.
Inside the 20, so they'll kick this one into touch and get some decent field position here as well, Q.
Oh, and here's a question that you'll like. Ray from the Rivers on the text, he says, greetings, folks. Great call, lads, as always. Quick question. Manly's Kohler is to be a shoo-in. If not, who's in better form? Yeah, well, you know, we always declare this. Clinton's his man, Tolu Kohler. Broke through 4 tackles and ran 40 metres to score a try today.
Yeah, he ticks a lot of boxes too, Tolu. He can play on the wing, he can play centre, play fullback, and he's got electric speed. Loves to carry it tough as well.
The Eels get good field position off that kick. Yeah, he's been in excellent form. Barlow plays it 40 out. Parramatta now to the left. Moses gives it on to Dylan Walker, who's out there. He's taken left edge, 30 from the Melbourne line. Pass comes back right in centre field from Moses to Barlow. Hops it up in the middle of the field. Volkman's got nowhere to go. And he's put to deck. And that was Papali coming into the defensive, the attacking line, my apologies. Papali plays it now towards Dylan Walker on the left edge, but Lasardi's there to wrap him up with Hughes. Slowish, play the ball, ref says 5. Moses has got it 22 metres out. He puts in a shallow bomb. Leapt at by Tuolangi. He couldn't catch it. Knocked on by Melbourne though. So Howarth was jumping against him. Parramatta will get another go here. And Harry Grant's just talking to the referee.
That's fine.
And he is going to go for the challenge.
Yeah, right for your captain starts in Melbourne. Challenging on field decision knock on the contest.
Parramatta Rachel, she's longing for Isaiah Iongi to come back in the team. Yeah, that ankle injury's probably only a week or so away.
Yeah, Parramatta can change it on side. Fair contest. A few angles on that one to go on. Good challenge.
So 12 and a half to the break here. Melbourne lead 10-4. And this is, as it stands, Parramatta's ball and on the attack off a knock-on from Howarth. But now Chris Butler's in the buster.
First, you just need to see the direction of the ball.
I love Cam Munster giving a running commentary. He touched it first.
I know, the last tackle will be a handover over here. It's allowed to finish. After coming off the right hand of cover, the ball continues to travel forward into the Melbourne player, and which is a knock-on. The challenge is successful.
They don't get many wrong.
It's too good, Harry. H. Grant.
So from what would have been a repeat set on attack for Parramatta, they win the challenge and the Storm get a go.
There's not a player in the comp with better footy IQ than that kid. He's a star.
He learned from the best, didn't he?
Yeah.
The 9 in Melbourne, they do all right at sort of game management, don't they? Parramatta now having to defend after they thought they might have got another crack on the line. 12 minutes to the break. Storm with the ball inside their own half. Carry here from Mawali. middle of the park and 30 metres from his own line. Given to Hughes, who's going to kick early in the set. Pumps it deep without great purchase on the kick. Joash Papali shins it to control it on the 30, and the Parramatta fullback then just took a moment or two to pick it up, so no great momentum on his kick return, and Munster tackles him 15 from halfway. Eels with the ball as Addo-Carr goes left edge, but good defence from Lasati. In company there with Mini, they push him back, so no gain for the Fox. Now Russell will have to go down the middle third. Good defensive set this from Melbourne. There's another good tackle. That time it's Big Cooper Clark at the forefront of it. The Eels are still 15 inside their own half. They've used up 4 tackles and gained, I reckon, 12 metres. Next carry there from Walker. Still 5 inside his own half. Now to the left, there's some space for Volkman. Tries to get underneath the tackle, but can't. Lasati reels him in. In fact, it was Mawali with the tackle out there. 40 from the goal line, last play. For Para, it's a Moses spiral bomb. Caught by Fa'along, or 12 from his own line. Draws 2 and gives a pass. That was ambitious, but it came off. Leo catches, he's tackled, and the Storm will start this set midway goal line and halfway. Now, what's going on, Zane? There's roaring everywhere. What are they roaring at?
Mexican wave.
Oh, they are waving. Okay.
Hang on, ready? Hey!
It's over the other side, isn't it?
See, in radio, people don't know that, but you've just given me up. No worries, Q.
No, you get a turn and then come around the southern, and now it hits the southwestern corner, and around she comes, I know. As Harry Grant's got the ball on halfway for Melbourne. Passes wide for Hughes, gives it on to Mini. Mini tackle, but gets it out the back. Second phase for Grant. Pops it up for Cooper Clark. And Clark is going to be held up in the tackle. He's 33 metres out on the right edge. Melbourne still leading, 10 points to 4. Given to Hughes for a run through centre field to the left. Munster on the Fa'alongo. He passes. Howard's put down. Howard's put down in the tackle of Russell. 12 out. Left edge for Melbourne. End of set. Passing field to Munster. Munster kicks for Warbrick. He flies. He can't outleap Russell there, but Russell knocks it on him, trying to catch it for Parramatta. And the Storm will get another go here on the attack.
Yeah, lovely kick there, Cameron Munster. It was one of those Cooper Cronk low drilled across, like right across to the other side of the field. He had a great jump on it too there. Warbrick just couldn't come down with it. Russell had to make a play, and if it comes up with the knock on, lost he does. Another centre 6 coming up for the Melbourne Storm.
9.5 minutes left in the first half. 0467 920 222 if you want to get in touch. You've got Kurt from Townsville wants up a Tweedle to get out there nice and quickly. So
Might be super close to first gear.
yeah, he's one of the 6 that could be used on the bench. What have they used? Only Dylan Walker so far, I think. Blindside Storm, 10 metres out. And it's given to Fa'alongo, but that door closes pretty quickly. So the fullbacks tackle for Melbourne. There are a dozen out on the right, leading 10-4 over Parramatta. Lasati on a centering run. And Adavalu Lasati's only 5 to the right of the uprights and 3 metres out when tackled. Grant sweeps it left and centre field for Hughes. Passes to Munster, feeds the inside line of Blore. Blore gets tackled. There's 6 more tackles. So coming up, wavy, fisty, offside Parramatta. Clark's got the ball, draws 2. Offload out the back to Grant, keeps it alive, passes to Hughes. Oh, his pass went along the ground. They've marked it up. Parra's jumped on the ball. Russell cleans it up, and I see in the periphery, saw Fa'alongo's blowing up. Obviously, there was some miscommunication on the right edge there, Clinton, as Addo-Carr has a run in field up to the 30.
Disappointed the little fullback. He's in the space, had the numbers too. They just couldn't execute that pass.
Lost ball, Parramatta though. That mistake comes from Brian Kelly. And they're still deep inside their own half, the Eels. So what was that? Play 3 of the set. And a loose carry from Brian Kelly. And the Storm will get a scrum here, only 34 metres from the Eels line. Shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, he's had a couple tonight. I think it's his second one, Brian Kelly. And he has got an error in him. There's some spectacular stuff, but just too many loose errors. Put a lot of pressure on his teammates. 8 minutes remaining. Huge set of 6 coming up in the context of this match.
Leo feeds the scrum. Grant takes it off the back, passes to Munster, and Pops it up to straightener there from Lasardi. On the 30 went tackle. Plays it in the middle of Lang Park. Grant to the right. Gives it on to Mawale. Davi Mawale with 3 para defenders around him. He's held up out in the right edge and 20 from the Caxton Street end goal. Back to left and centre field. Hughes offers it for Liero straightener. No great momentum though from Trent Liero. Stop 15 out. Now Grant to the left for Hughes to Munster. Oh, Moses jumped out of the line, made a tackle and Munster's dropped the ball. Great play, Moses. Cleaned up by Tuolangi of Parramatta. He's tackled on the 20, but a one-on-one play. Moses on Munster comes up big for the Eels.
Yeah, both teams starting to get a little bit scrappy here as well. Great opportunity there for Melbourne to drive the nail into the coffin, but just coming up with another error as Parramatta working their way out over the 30-metre line.
Kelly got a bit of an offload. Papali tackle on the 30. Now Kelly runs hard left to the ruck. 10 from halfway. Plays the ball to De Silva. Given on to Tony Matayeli, who's out there now for Parramatta, just beyond halfway. Plays it to De Silva. Given left, Walker at the line. Pops it to Paulo. Junior Paulo, he's offload. De Silva knocks it forward. Did he knock it on? Yeah, the referee's watching. And he does call knock on as De Silva tried to gather it. He's thinking maybe he didn't touch it, came off his leg. Let's just see if there's a challenge here. Yes, there will be.
All right, Bucky. Captain's challenge by Parramatta. Challenge the on-field decision of a knock-on. Had a knock-on with the offload. The bloke tried to take the offload as a knock-on.
That's the voice of ref Peter Goff, and next you'll hear Chris Butler in the bunker. Melbourne leading 10 points to 4, 6.5 minutes left. First half.
After Junior Paulo offloads it, hits the ball, just need direction that the ball travels.
So Grant's definitely knocked the ball out of Junior Paulo's hand. And he's knocked that forward.
The touch from Harry goes forward, which is the first knock on, playing on.
So a good captain's challenge from Parramatta.
Yeah, it's a couple. One for Melbourne.
Talon now knocks on, which is the second infringement. The challenge is successful. Scrum back pitch.
So Parramatta will get the scrum here. 6 minutes 38 left. Russell scored the first try of the game 8 minutes in, 4-0 Eels, and then Leo and Howard with tries to Melbourne on 12 and 17 minutes. So we haven't had points for a while. Melbourne leading 10 points to 4. And centrefield scrum here for Parramatta.
Just looking at those errors, Q, 6 errors for Parramatta, far too many, and 5 as well for the Melbourne Storm. So starting to get a bit scrappy this game.
Eels win the scrum, given by Volkman to left edge, and Russell's tackle. 15 in from touch on the left, 25 metres out. Back to Walker, who passes on to Matayeli. Tackled on the 20. Parramatta getting a sojourn to the southern end on the attack. Moses shows the ball, then gives it. Iongi's pass on to Tuolangi, who's tackled. Not Iongi, sorry. Papali. Freudian slip from Rachel's text there a moment ago. Papali with the pass now through Moses to centre field, and Matayeli with 3 around him backs into the tackle, takes it to deck. Eels 7 metres out. De Silva passes left. Crash ball line from Dylan Walker. He's taken down by Mawale a couple of metres out. Last play, quick play the ball. Or a little kick there from De Silva. May have been knocked on by Hughes. Yes, that's the call from the referee. So it is fielded eventually by Melbourne, but there was a knock-on from Jerome Hughes, or was it Longo, one of them there. And Harry Grant's got the ball under his arm. He says, no, we're going to have this. And they're going to challenge. I reckon it wasn't a knock-on.
He's going to get it here again. The skipper for the Storm. I'm sure Russell makes a play at it as Longo's trying to pick the ball up.
Yeah, well, no, I got it right the first time. It was Hughes. He sort of kicked it in between his thighs. And then, well, does that constitute a knock-on? And then Failongo picks it up.
Still a Failongo takes clean possession of the ball.
He's got it right again.
Talon now dives, playing at the ball, knocking it on in a one-on-one strip. He's playing
Too good.
Harry Grant. We're used to seeing Adam Reynolds get all these challenges right inside this.
Harry now takes possession of the ball. The challenge is successful.
By the way, what a game that will be. It's the meat and the sandwich tomorrow. Broncos Echo's Warriors. Try and find a spare seat at about 4 o'clock here tomorrow.
Mate, the roof could dead set come off this place.
It'll be huge.
Yeah, we're going bananas, the Warriors group.
There's a lot of Warriors supporters at the northern end. I can already see them wearing their Warriors jerseys, and particularly up on the top deck as well too. Can I just say this, guys? In the previous match we had 49,602. This game has been posted at 48,692. So effectively 1,000 have decided to go after the Caxton early and haven't decided to stay. But great result all the same. There's another mistake here.
Yeah, this is Jack Howarth losing the ball. First play of the new set for Melbourne on their own 10. So that's a mistake from the Storm, which gives Parramatta another chance to attack. 5 minutes to the break. They just lost the ball going to deck, Jack Howarth. I don't know why they give us their in-game attendances here at Magic Round. It's like it's sold out each day. So just tell us how many turned up across the day. Yeah, which would be about 52,000. Parra with the scrum win, 10 out, Bolton to the left, gives it on to Papali. Joash Papali knocked down by that right side defence of Melbourne. Mini are coming across to stop him 5 metres out. Now back to right and centre field. Bolton gives it through the hands. And the Eels go to deck on the carry there of Natayeli 10 metres out. Back to the right. Bolton on to Moses. Inside line to Alangi. Great tackle around his thighs from Cooper Clark. Ball played to Silva. Walker knocks it on the crash ball line. Watch out. Player Longmore picked it up in the in-goal area. Then went on a kick return which threatened to do something special. But he's taken down in the tackle of De Silva. 15 from his own line. Melbourne has the ball back. There's been a number of mistakes down that southern end. But the Storm now beyond the 20. And with 4 minutes to the break, they've got the ball. They lead the game 10-4, Clinton Tufovsky.
Oh, Fa'alongo is going that fast. His shoe come off, Q. I really need to get through this set here. The Melbourne Storm, Parramatta flying out of the line, trying to put some pressure on to get another error. It looks like they're going to get a kick away in this set of 6.
Yeah, Mawali 8 from halfway. Grant again one-handed pick up, and Munster receives front football, but he's monstered in a bear-hugging tackle from Junior Paulo. And Munster will play it on 5, 49 metres from the Eels line, so just attacking side of halfway. Hughes kicks downfield for Melbourne. It's a high ball. It's taken by Papali, about 15 from his own line. Kick return gains 10. And Parra midway goal line and halfway as they start this set with 3 minutes 20 seconds to the break.
That Storm set was only the second completed set in the last 10. It's been pretty scrappy up until now as Kelly charges up over the 30 Q.
Nice one, Zane. Yeah, good stat. Brian Kelly near the Magic Round logo, plays at western side. De Silva passes to Moses, running laterally. Gives the ball to Bolton, but that was well read by the right side defence of Mini, who got in his face and makes the tackle. Dummy half to Silva. That was a bit loose from the Eels. He got there a bit late. Passes to Paulo, who's flat-footed. And Junior put down in the middle of Lang Park. Plays it for the Eels. Given right from Moses. Space to stroll down the right edge before then putting in a chip behind the line. Vaiolongo. He leaps and catches it. He's tackled immediately by Samrani and put to deck. And with 2.5 to the break, Melbourne have the ball 15 from their own line. Still, it's Storm 10. Eels 4. Magic Round on ABC Sport.
Mitch Moses coming in that short side there. You can see some space in behind the defensive line. Looked like he was going to put the chip kick in, then he just backed out right in the last minute, put it into the air, but the space was just in behind the back of the ruck.
Warbrick to the 30. And now again down the middle third, an energetic run from Howarth, Mini, should I say, who's tackled 10 from halfway. He's a bit slow to get up, Mini. Bit sore there. Mawali right edge gains 8, just one man out from the ruck. Now Grant out of dummy half, passes right. Hughes, brothers down the right wing looking for Warbrick. Papali got there first for Parra. He evades the tackle of Grant before being stopped on his own 30. So there's 100 seconds left in the first half. Parramatta with the ball 15 their own side of halfway. And Adokara's tackle. Been a lot of errors, but it's been flat at a frenetic pace, Clinton, this game. long pass here to Moses Centerfield. They try and get it from left edge out to right. It was a pass out the back. For a moment I thought it was loose from Kelly, but it was a pass. Money takes it, he's tackled. Given back to Kelly, who takes a two-man tackle to deck, 5 inside Parra territory. 2 plays left in the set, blind side to Alungi, has a rumble down the western side, but he runs into the tackle of Munster and also Howard. Last play Parramatta, right edge, 42 metres from Melbourne's line. Moses runs laterally in the centre of the field, gives a pass to Bolton, who just knocks it on goal. Dropped it, picked up by Hughes, he passes away, he's got a man in Lasardi who's not quick enough. He needed one of the speedsters. Lasardi's tackled 35 out. That gives the Storm 50 seconds to create something. Loose last play from Parramatta, and the Purple get on the front foot. Again, a jinking run from Failongo. He's tackled. Centerfield 25 out. Grant directs it right to Clark. Cooper Clark takes 3 to deck, and the big lad will play it right edge. Only 15 metres from the Eels line. 30 seconds to the break. Hughes Centerfield now gives it left from Munster to Bloor. Failongo keeps it moving. Oh, the pass has gone through the hands of Howard and over the touchline. It was Moses Leo on the wing, I should say, and that will probably be the last passage of interest in this first half.
Well, hopefully it is, Q. The last 10-15 minutes have been abysmal from both sides. 17 errors now across both teams.
Really?
Yeah, that's really, really sloppy.
Is it super slippery down there, Zano? That's half-time. Melbourne lead 10-4.
Weird one, wasn't it, Zane? First 15, 20 minutes was fine.
Absolutely. It's just a game between 14th and 15th, both fatigued and just not being able to hold on to the ball. But you'd think whichever team's going to maintain possession is going to run away with this. I'm surprised the Storm didn't set up for a field goal, make it a 7-point margin at half-time, but they'll be happy with that. Parramatta, they're definitely a lot better than they were in round 1. Remember that, Q? Storm won 52-4. They're a lot better team now, Parramatta, than they were in round 1.
Yeah, good on you, Zano, down on the touchline. So scoring details of that first half. 2 tries to 1 to Melbourne. First try on 8 minutes to Sean Russell on the left edge. He got over and Mitch Moses couldn't convert from out on the touchline. 4-0 Parramatta then became 4-all. Moses Leo scoring for Melbourne left edge. Mini couldn't convert from touchline. And then 5 minutes later on 17 minutes, Jack Howarth scoring. Nick Meaney did convert that one. And that turned out to be it for the scoring. 10-4 after 17 minutes, and it remains 10-4 at half-time, Clinton Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, it was. Parramatta started really well. Sure, Russell saved a beautiful try down the other end. Defended really well, then comes down and scores a nice try on that left edge for Parramatta. Then I sort of got the feeling that Melbourne had worked their way into the match and controlled the momentum, really started to take control of the match, and then just that last 10, 15, 20 minutes from both sides. I think Zano touched on it. The fatigue set in. A couple of teams that don't have a lot of confidence, a little bit nervous, and the errors started to come, and the points dried up. So we've got a nice tight game here, but yeah, definitely need to tidy up on their handling, both teams, in the second half.
Good on you, Chock. 10-4 to Melbourne. Let's get around the grounds before we get to the news. By the way, if you missed it earlier today, Manly 46-18 over the West Tigers. Jason Saab scoring 3 tries. But an interesting one where Lehigh Hopewadi ran into referee Atkins. That's going to be looked at. Pat Herbert was put on report for a backslamming tackle. There were a few incidents in that game.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Manly are the real deal.
They're going all right.
Turbo to come back, they're flying.
Yeah, and your man Kohler, as I mentioned,
he's a highlight reel, isn't he?
Oh, the try that he scored, he broke through 4 tackles.
I remember watching. He's a rugby union kid as well. Went to Newington College, and I remember watching him play junior reps for Manly in the Harold Matson SG Ball, and he used to score those tries 2-3 times a match. It was just ridiculous. So it was always coming once he found his feet in the top grade, and that he has.
So 46-18 for Manly, and then North Queensland had 2 portions of the game. So 20 minutes of the game where they were down a man, with Cotter in the sin bin in the second half, Lodge in the sin bin in the first half, and they ended up beating the Roosters 18 points to 12.
Jason Tamalolo telling our man Zane Bojack that's the second best win he's ever seen by the club. That's a massive statement.
Yeah, after their 2015 Golden Point grand final win.
There's another team that's on the rise.
Around the grounds in the AFL second quarter, Western Bulldogs 5-4-34 lead Carlton 3-6-24. Second half of the Super Rugby, the Force 12 lead the Reds 7. Super Netball last quarter. Giants 64, trailing the Firebirds 71. So the Queensland Firebirds ahead there. In the A-League, men, the second leg of the semi-final, the winner plays Auckland in the grand final. It's 1-1 on aggregate and still 0-0 between the Jets and Sydney FC in the second leg of that semi-final. It's first half there. And big day of footy here at the Cauldron. And with the Doomben 10,000, it was the start of the Group 1s for the Brisbane Winter Racing Carnival. And at any old odds, Rothfire for local trainer Rob Heathcote saluted in the Group 1 Doomben 10,000. A couple of big names in that race, Jimmy Starr among others. But for Rob Heathcote and for Rothfire to salute, there'll be some parties around Brisbane tonight with purple and black checks, because he's an old warrior, Rothfire, and Rob Heathcote has had some near misses in a lot of Group 1s in this part of the world. So good on you, Rob, and the Rothfire team picking up the Doomben 10,000 across town today. Fireworks and DJ here at halftime. We'll take a spell. We'll be back for the second half after a trip to the ABC newsroom. Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. A man has died after a shark bit him on the legs off Rottnest Island, west of Perth. David Webber reports. The man was spearfishing 1 kilometre off the western end of the island when he was bitten on the lower legs. He'd gone there with friends from Perth's northern suburbs. He was 20 metres from his boat when it happened. Rottnest Island Police Sergeant Michael Weir described the scene as horrific.
The friends of the victim retrieved his body from the water. They gave CPR on the way back in and came straight into the Geordie Bay jetty.
Despite the efforts of emergency services, the 38-year-old man couldn't be saved. Police will be preparing a report for the coroner. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says no decision has been made on whether to extend the halving of the fuel excise. Political reporter Lexi Junowick has more from Parliament House.
These measures are all due to wrap up on July the 1st. The Prime Minister said that an assessment will be made, but didn't put a yes or a no on that. But we do know that from what the Prime Minister had to say this morning, that demand for fuel has reduced since, of course, we saw it soar prior to the Easter break. He says due to Australia's listening to the government's call for them to only use what is required. And he also mentioned that next week National Cabinet will convene, as we've been seeing since the conflict in the Middle East began, to meet on fuel security matters.
A spokesperson for Taiwan's president says the leader is thankful for US President Donald Trump's long-standing support for peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. It comes after Trump said he hasn't decided whether to go ahead with a major weapons sale to Taiwan, adding to uncertainty about American support for the democratically governed island following his trip to China this week. According to the spokesperson, President Lai Ching-te says US arms sales are not only part of the US security commitment to Taiwan, but also serve as a shared deterrent against regional threats. Hundreds of people have gathered outside the State Library of Victoria in Melbourne CBD to honour the life of teenager Isla Bell, who died in 2024. Natasha Shapova has the story.
A sea of orange has congregated to listen to the mother of Isla Bell, Justine Spokes, share her grief and anger at the injustice she feels has been dealt towards her daughter. Isla Bell's remains were discovered at a tip in November 2024, 6 weeks after she was last seen alive at the house of 55-year-old St Kilda Eastman Murat Ganyev. Mr Ganyev was initially charged with murder. The charge was then downgraded to manslaughter before homicide charges were dropped altogether on Tuesday. Mr Ganyev will now face charges of attempting to pervert the court of justice. Today, Ms Spokes' main message is She Matters, calling for a stop to gendered violence.
A global monitor says nearly 20 million people, or more than 40% of the population of Sudan, face acute hunger as a result of the country's 3-year-old civil war. The conflict is estimated to have killed hundreds of thousands of people, as well as devastating the economy and agriculture, along with displacing 14 million people. The war broke out in April 2023 when fighting erupted between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces.
The Bureau of Meteorology has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central parts of South Australia. Large hailstones, heavy rain that could cause flash flooding and damaging winds are likely in the northwest pastoral and northeast pastoral districts over the next several hours. Severe thunderstorms are also likely to produce heavy rainfall, which would lead to flash flooding in parts of the Eastern Eyre Peninsula, York Peninsula, the Mid-North and Flinders Ranges. Two pro surfers, Australian Anthony Walsh and Puerto Rican Dylan Graves, have become the first people to surf a rare tidal wave in Western Australia's remote north. Anthony Walsh says it took years of planning to surf the Buccaneer Archipelago tidal wave, which is near Broome. He says the wipeouts were violent, but worth it.
Even with flotation, just have to sit there and just kind of relax, no use on my energy. Like a 40-second wipeout like that is probably compared to like over a 2 minute in like a regular surf. So it was pretty intense, pretty scary.
Walsh says they sought permission from traditional owners before attempting to surf the wave. And Melbourne City has won the A-League Women's Soccer Championship after downing Wellington Phoenix 3-1 in the grand final in Melbourne this afternoon. This is ABC News.
Get your documentary fix on ABC iView.
We have an industry that's just running riot.
Like Sean McAuliffe's Going for Broke.
Last win, come on.
Todd Sampson's Why.
The best things in life are on the other side of fear.
And more. Streaming now on ABC iView.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
It's Magic Round.
Plays the ball 30 out. The Silver to the left. Moses runs at the line. Got the pass away. Through to Bolton. Now out to the edge. And Russell gets through a tackle. And Russell scores the first try of the game for Parramatta. The Eels strike first against the Storm. Melbourne on the attack now. Lestadi stopped 20 out. Left and centre field given it. Hughes on the Munster. Through the hands to the edge. And Moses Leo gets through Sam Rani to score in the left corner for Melbourne. Off the back of that six again. Plays at 42 from the line he's defending. Now Grant pushes away from Marco over halfway line break. Pass to Munster. Pass to Hughes. To Clownbrook combined. He passes to the left for Bailongo. Gets it to the edge for Howard. And Howard goes in the left corner for a Melbourne try that went through the trident of brilliance. Grant, Hughes, Munster.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
It's Magic Round.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
It's Magic Round, all right, and we've got 40 minutes of football left on this Saturday at the Cauldron. Quentin Hull is my name. Great to have your company all the way through to the end of this big day of football at the spiritual home of Rugby League in Queensland. I'm calling with Clinton Chifovsky and Zane Bojak. Last game of the day is Parramatta versus Melbourne. It's tight. There's been quite a few mistakes, but it's a contest, that's for sure, for a Storm team that finally broke their 7-game losing streak last week with a win over the Tigers, but still the beaten grand finalists of last year, well and truly off the pace with 3 wins and 7 losses. Parramatta 4 wins, 6 losses. They beat the Cowboys in Golden Point time last week, so 2 teams in the bottom third of the ladder really need a victory here tonight, and it's Melbourne leading by 10 points to 4 at half-time. Earlier today, Manly, Warringah and North Queensland claiming victories. The Sea Eagles with a thumping over the West Tigers 46-18. The Tigers season, which looked so good in the first 5 to 6 weeks, well, now they've lost 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5. And Manly, well, they've done the exact opposite. Coach sacked after an 0-3 start, but now under Kieran Foran, Manly has won 6 of their last 7 games, and they are 6-4, the Sea Eagles, and playing some dazzling football. And what about the North Queensland Cowboys? Well, they started slowly as well with losses against the Tigers and the Knights, and there were questions as to whether or not Todd Payton would see this portion of the season. Well, he was still there at coach, and the Cowboys tonight got past the Roosters by 18 points to 12 in a game which showed that they are more than a one-man band. Not only Tom Dearden out injured, but Jason Taumalolo didn't play tonight. A really good performance from the Cowboys, who on 2 occasions were down to 12 men with players in the sin bin. So a hiccup there for Trent Robinson's Bondi boys. Stories aplenty across this weekend. Of course, tomorrow, Andrew and the team will be broadcasting from the southern forecourt of Lang Park from noon. They're doing the pre-game show as ever. Gibbsy and Louis will be there. You can come down and say g'day. And then the first game at 2 o'clock is Newcastle versus Gold Coast. News coming through earlier today that Bradman Best has once again done another soft tissue injury. He's not playing tomorrow. And that has a few ramifications, no doubt, for Laurie Daly's Blues squad. And then in the middle of the day, it's Brisbane versus the Warriors. In the eyes of many, the marquee game of this Magic Round. And we'll finish it off with Penrith taking on the Dragons. Oof, what's that going to be on the Sunday night of Magic Round? But we still got 40 minutes of this one to get through, Chock.
They might need 2 innings to make up the score there. Poor old Dragons.
Well, they might be beaten by an innings. they might have to follow on and still get done.
You never know. Funnier things have happened at Magic Weekend. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Great theatre for the season and Magic Weekend.
By the way, how did you like the halftime show? We had the news on and they had the fireworks going and DJ had the crowd pumped up. It dead set was a nightclub here for 5 minutes or so.
It's rocking. The Saturday is the party day, isn't it? It really is. So I think the Warriors fans will have something to say about that tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, won't they what? But mind you, I don't think the Broncos fans are shrinking violets. This is their regular house and they'll be making some noise tomorrow. By the way, who are you tipping tomorrow in that game?
I'm tipping the Warriors.
This is the only game we've got you on air for Magic Round. So give us a quick thought for the weekend. We'll do an extended chat when we wrap things up. But, yeah, just on that game, what do you reckon? The Wars?
Yeah, I think the Wars can win the comp. There you go.
Wow.
My tip to win the comp.
Your tip to win the comp?
Yeah, they can stay
You said
fit.
that this time last year.
Yes, well, I'm saying it again this year.
Okay.
It's going to be the year. I've got a feeling.
First time ever. Warriors Premiership. That'll be something. Anyway, we'll see how they go.
It'll be the end of rugby union as we know it in New Zealand as the Warriors win the NRL competition.
Tongue in cheek, or you?
Oh, they're coming to get them.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely they are. So, maybe not the All Blacks, Super Rugby.
Speaking of which, second half's underway in that Super Rugby game. Forcing Reds at 14-all while you mentioned that. Anyway, let's get to the kickoff here. The Eels kickoff, Hughes catches, and solid first carry. Oh, he's lost the ball. He has lost the ball, Dave Mawali, with the first carry of the second half, and the Eels are pumped up. Dylan Walker there on that tackle. Junior Bowler was a part of it as well. But who are we going to give credit to? Yeah, Walker, and it was in fact Matayeli with him. Crashed into Dave Mawali, and the ball comes free. So the Eels, straight up, are going to get a crack at the Melbourne line off the mistake.
Dylan Walker, what a player. He's half the size of David Mawali. Come out of the line, put his right shoulder where he shouldn't, just whacked him. What a tackle that was. Great start for Parramatta in the second half.
Centrefield scrum, 10 out. Volkman to the right. Oh, catch and give. Papali, oh, it's been dropped. It's been dropped by Brian Kelly out on the right wing with the try line in sight. Bombed try out on the right edge.
Yeah, he's got the drops tonight, Brian Kelly. A little bit behind him was a tough one, but he still needs to take that. A little bit high as well. But yeah, there's a try gone begging for the Parramatta Eels. They needed that one too.
So after all those drop ball at the back end of the first half, we've had 2 incomplete sets in the space of a minute to start the second half.
They want 40 minutes like we got in the back end of that first half.
Now, Melbourne have got this scrum 10 from their own line. Make sure they don't drop it before I get Zano's news from half-time. No, they don't. Melbourne working their way upfield. Zane, word from the rooms.
Craig Bellamy said you've got to be more ruthless. You've got to not only hang on to the football, but you've got to kick chase better. You're actually giving Parramatta an opportunity to bring it off their own line and make plenty of metres. As for Parramatta, it was a case of you guys got to hold the football and be a little bit more patient and just let territory win you the game. So both coaches with pretty similar messages.
Zane Bojack down on the touchline. Melbourne with the ball and up towards halfway on the carry of Liero. Plays it to Grant, given left to Munster and out to the edge for Sean Bloor, who keeps it alive. Pops it back with an offload. So a bit of second pace for Melbourne here. Munster's going laterally and runs into the tackle of Talon De Silva. So Munster's stopped. This is play 5 coming up from Melbourne. They're 40 from Para's line. Hughes puts up a bomb. It's attacking right side for the Warbrick leap. He taps it backwards. It's in Melbourne's hands, but Lasati is wrapped up as soon as he gathered that crumb off the tap back from Warbrick. And it's a handover, and Parramatta will get the ball. The Eels are defending the Milton Road end in this second half. There's still a bit of haze around the upper reaches of the grandstands here at Lang Park because of all the fireworks we had at half-time. But touch wood for you, Zano. We got through today without any rain, which is great news.
We had a little bit in the second half of the Countball game, Q.
Well,
but apart from that, it wasn't very long, thanks.
Substantial rain, but yeah. Fair enough point. I wasn't out there in it. You were, so yes, it did rain.
The 7-year-old, he was out there, still going strong, Q.
Yep, the Eels have got it, and Papali goes over halfway. Joash Papali, the fullback for the Eels, as referee Goff says 5. Parramatta 42 from the goal line. And Moses puts up a high kick at the end of the set. Failongo catches it comfortably 15 from his own line and is tackled before getting a gallop up. He's looked pretty comfortable under that high ball. Failongo is playing with helmet on tonight. Nick Meaney receives but can't get beyond the 20, so Melbourne trying to work their way up from the Caxton Street end. Moses Leo loses the ball on a left side run. Junior Paolo picks it up and thinks, what am I going to do? Chucks it infield to Tony Mataielli, who goes straight, and there's another mistake. Oh dear, there's plenty of those in this game, and an absolute lie down. Harry Grant is taking the mick by lying down that long. He is lucky not to be professional fouled for that play. He lay on him so long and realised it'd be 6 again, and it slowed Para up so much. Refs have got to be on that. He's too smart, Harry, if you let him get away with that. And now Para can't complete the set. Forward pass to the right edge. So Peterkoff blows up everything, but he doesn't have the guts to send Harry Grant to the bin. But dead set having a nap on the top of a Parramatta player before that set.
There's the footy IQ again there, Q. He knows the referee's too weak to do anything about it.
But that's a professional foul every day of the week. I know he's your man. What do you reckon, Zano? They needed to set an alarm to wake Harry up and get off that tackle. He took so long.
All I know is that Cam Smith's going to get a gold whistle from the NRL when he gets his immortal status, and Harry Grant's following the path very well as well. He knows how to manipulate referees.
Yeah, Lasati's got the ball for the Storm, and he's tackled 15. Oh, another. This is a high tackle from Parramatta. Penalty to Melbourne. 15 inside their own half.
Onside, Trent. Onside.
And look, my job is to call the game, but at the same time, there might be fans saying, give more than a penalty, or well, Harry's smart enough. He is, unless if the refs let him get away with it. And Jock's just smiling and nodding next to me. Melbourne get into attack. Can we get a complete set here? Kelly from Mwale. He stopped 30 metres out to the left. Hughes to Munster. Give it on to Blore. And Sean Blore in a straightening run. Tackled 22 metres from the Parramatta line. Storm on the attack, leading 10-4. Liero receives on the inside line. No great momentum though about it. Still a bit messy. Got an offload to a flat-footed Grant. Got an offload to a flat-footed Munster. Tries a dance. Gets tackled by 3 Parramatta defenders. And Munster will play it 12 metres out. One hand to pick up Grant. Passes left for Hughes at the line. He's got Clark running a crash ball line. Nice tackle from the Parra defence to put him down. Quick play the ball. This is the last. They run it to the left. Grant to Hughes. Hughes to Munster. Munster scores the triumvirate. Do it again for the purple. How good. How good. And it doesn't matter how many in a row you lose. If you got those 3 guys starting to get fit and get in form, there might just be a purple surge in the 2026 season. The Queensland skipper scores at Lang Park, and Melbourne lead Parramatta 14 points to 4.
We said it again in the call. If either of these 2 sides can get through a set of 6s, it's trying to be scored, and it was always going to be Melbourne that would. It was that man Harry Grant, the nemesis for Quinton Hull, gets out of dummy half, and he just drifts across field, brings the defence up, suckers them in, gets them in over the advantage line, brings those halves onto the footy. Jerome Hughes onto Munster, the big 3. There it is, Cameron Munster. He was out of form drastically at the start of the season, but he's quickly coming into form. And guess what time of the year it is?
It's Origin time. Zane Bojack on the touchline.
And both Chock and myself are very happy to see the skipper just getting himself into a little bit of purple patch heading into the Origin series. That's what we need. We don't know who's going to be his half partner, but we do know that he's going to be there as the number 6. Interestingly enough, Q, I think one of the biggest impacts has been the loss of Eliesa Katoa, but I can tell you one thing, that the effort by Lasardi is really starting to pay off on that right edge.
Mini will try and convert. 15 to the right of the upright, strikes it well, kicks the conversion. Nick Mini 2 from 3 off the kicking tee tonight, and the Storm lead the Eels 16 points to 4, 8 minutes into the second half. Around the grounds, third quarter AFL, Western Bulldogs 5-4-34 to Carlton 3-4-26. Second half Super Rugby, the Force 19 lead the Reds 14. In the Super Netball, the Firebirds have beaten the Giants 71 to 64. A-League men's second half of the second leg, and still 0-0 between the Jets and Sydney, which remains 1-1 on aggregate on the SMS. I'll get to that in a minute. 0467 920 222. Make sure no one drops the kickoff this time, and they don't. It's a run from Mawali, who dropped it to start the second half. He got to the 20. Now Grant gives it through Liero and out towards Blore, who's tackled. Hi, I'm loving the call tonight. Camping in Donnybrook with the kids. It's 5 degrees. Can you keep us informed about the MotoGP as well? If it helps, I think Jack Miller is in Q2. Sorry. We'll do our best. If there's breaking news with Jack Miller, the boy from North Queensland, we'll let you know. Cooper Clark over halfway. Tackled only 40 out. Quick play the ball. Hughes gives it from Munster back to Hughes. Halfway along, should I say. Tackled 25 metres out. Now the kick at the end of set. Goes to Warbrick's wing. He taps it across the field. It was backward play on Grant. Chucks it towards the wing. Into the hands of Mini. Mini swamped by the defence. And he's tackled. And he is tackled. It will be a handover. So Melbourne off the restart from scoring points. Threatened to go back-to-back with now Parramatta 5 from their own line.
Oh, it's near good and Cooper Clark. What about that for a charge, Clinton Chipkowski?
What a tearaway he is. The kid from the Sunshine Coast. He's a big unit, but he carries that weight really, really well. And Australian schoolboy as well. I think he was a couple of years ago. He's a star, that kid.
Sadly, he represents New South Wales.
Sam Rani to the 20. As Kelly now, next carry, right edge up to the 30. Parramatta trying to work their way upfield and stay in this game. Half an hour to go. It's only 16-4, but Melbourne, having conceded the first try, have scored the next 3. Just seem to have the controlling hand in a game which has had a lot of mistakes. Boltman kicks downfield for Parra from his own 40. It's caught defensive left corner by Fa'alongo. Runs infield on an angled run, and then he sort of tries to weave away from Williams, but can't really in the end. Russell gets him with Williams, and Fa'alongo will play at 15 from his own line. Hughes is in at dummy half, doesn't have many other options around apart from Warbrick to go forward. Storm slow to get back on side after that good kick. Warbrick tackled midway goal line and halfway. Now infield comes Howarth, and he's tackled 15 from the halfway line and slow to get up. No, it's Moses Leo, my apologies. Leo I might have hurt his knee there. So he does play the ball, but he's in the hands of the trainers. Mini goes forward, 8 from halfway as the Storm now give it to Uduik and Manu. He's brought down on halfway as still Leo's in the hands of the trainers in back play. Zane will give us an update in a moment. Hughes bombs from halfway at the end of the set. Shallow bomb and a great leap and catch from Papali, the Parramatta fullback. He's got it 25 from his own line. Down to Zane on the touchline.
I think it's left ankle, Q. Look, he's in so much pain. I wonder if it's syndesmosis, and certainly the Storm don't need more injuries, but it's looking pretty serious down there.
Yeah, he's been down there for near on a minute now. Parramatta with the ball on their own 30. Trying to explore the right edge with the Melbourne defences up to it, and Liero makes a tackle there on Semrani. Now Brian Kelly on the Byron side run. Kelly gains 10, plays it 8 his own side of halfway. Quick play the ball to De Silva. Passes left in centre field from Moses through Boltman to the Fox. One in from the wing, and O'Carr puts on the jet. Beats 1, beats 2, comes to the fullback, and Fa'alongo got his ankle. Addo-Carr tackled 20 metres out. And Failonga's in the ruck, so it's 6 more for Parramatta. They can get a press set and said, oh, De Silva dropped the ball, but no advantage, surely. Or does the ref say they had taken the advantage? And here's one of those grey area calls. We've seen a lot of 6 agains, and there's a mistake not long after, and they call it back. But no, ref Goff says you've taken the advantage, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, I see him take a lot longer advantages than that. Can't take a trick here, the poor old Eels.
Leo can't walk here, guys. He's going to be finished for the night. He's trying to make his way off. I hate it when the trainer can't help him, and he's just basically just walking off. But yeah, that ankle, it's gone on the left side.
Oh, that's such a bad turn of events for Moses Leo. So you reckon it's ankle down there, Zano? Left ankle.
It's most sure.
I reckon it was a high ankle sprain.
And I know you got our badge referee, Barry Talon, sitting next to you. So just give him a quick sort of nod and a wink and ask him whether he reckoned that advantage was good or not.
Put him on the mic. He reckons it was okay.
Yeah, it's after the play, the ball. It's a set restart. So it's not as if they knocked on in that play. So that play's gone. It's a new play. So no advantage, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you for that, Brad Talon. Chiming in, sitting next to Zane Bojak down on the touchline.
Best stats man in the business, Kev.
Oh, and very handy to have a badge referee at close hand for those calls as well. Thank you, Zano. Thank you, Brad. Melbourne with the ball, leading the game, 16 points to 4. There's 28 minutes left. You're listening to Magic Round on ABC Sport. I'm Quentin Hull. Next to Clinton Chifosky up in the box here. Nice offload to Wickamano off by Longo. Threatens to break the line on halfway, but then he drops it. He drops it. Knock on in the tackle there of Junior Barlow.
Bellyache's out of the box.
And on the big screen, the fans have seen Bellyache blow up in the front row of the coach's box and walk to the back. It's a scene familiar across his brilliant tenure at the Storm, but he's had enough of veteran coach of the Storm.
I'm talking about the Storm out of our box, Q. This is rubbish.
You had enough?
So much drop ball.
Yeah.
Worst as I've seen in a long time. Such a scrappy game.
There's a lot of love for the great man. Of course, he's struggling with that degenerative brain disease, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot of love out there for him. There's no enemies with that man.
John, can you please hang around, mate?
No. It was tongue-in-cheek.
I know, but yeah, you're right. There's been a lot of drop ball in this game. Matayeli's got it. Parramatta's got it. They're 35 out. Played it to De Silva. Given to Saxon Pryke, who's out there. He'll make the play to within 25 of halfway. Takes the tackle. Plays it now. Left edge Volkman has a dummy and a straight. It runs into the tackle of Liero and Hughes. Parramatta 20 in from the left, 15 out. Play to De Silva. Pass right from Moses. Shows it. Gives it to the right. And Papali puts on the jet saw half a hole, but a nice tackle. Out on that edge from Bloor. Cuts him down. Last play. Moses runs it blindside. Tries to grab it. Comes off Grant's foot. Is that 6 more? Did he play at it? Parra's got the ball. Yes, it is 6 more. He played at it. Kelly picks it up. Hold on. He
Play the ball. Tackle 1, Parramatta. No.
Which is what they did. What they did. And then the referees basically ordered them to restart what had just taken place. Anyway.
Well, the ref told Harry Green off then. He says, my call, Harry. Stop it.
And because it was a stoppage, he couldn't go back and challenge it.
Barlow 15 out. Tackled now. To the left, Papali to Moses. Gives the inside line of Geimer. Charlie Geimer is tackled 10 metres out, 5 to the left of the uprights. Parra need to score. They trail 16-4. Big Junior with a dummy. Barlow had a couple buying there before he's tackled. Under the black dot, only a metre out. De Silva sweeps it right for Moses. Feeds it on to Williams. Runs into Munster and Bloor. They make good contact and bring him down. Last play, Parra 8 metres out on the right. Back to Moses, who chips for the in-goal area. Leaping Russell has it played once and twice, can't catch it. Hughes takes it. Hughes takes the tackle. And 2 and 3. Jerome Hughes is up to the 30. He's running out of gas though and eventually tackled 40 metres away from from the line. He's defending. He was under the black dot a moment ago, but Jerome Hughes has come up with another huge play to get Melbourne out of danger territory at the end of that power-attacking set.
Another one of big three coming up with a great play there. They're under the cost 2Q. They needed that. Got them out of trouble. Great work from the number 7.
Now Melbourne in the attacking half as Joe Chan's on the field for the Storm. He's tackled 32 metres out. Melbourne leading 16-4. Udoikamanu charges down the middle third. Got tackled by Barlow. We got an offload to Grant. He gives it to Hughes. Hughes is wrestled to deck by the tackle of Williams. Centre field and 15 out. Dare I say it, Clinton. The purple rain is coming. Oh, there it is. Munster outside in play to Cooper Clark. He scores. And the big human of 19 years of age is joyous at scoring at the Cauldron. And you can sense it. And they've done it. And Melbourne lead 20-4. Kick to come.
Jerome Hughes come up the big play down in his own in goal to get them the field position they needed. Then their other man, his little number 6, the 6-7. There it is, 6-7. He goes to the left side of the ruck. Cameron Munster. Well, there was no Failungo on the inside. It was the big number 15, Cooper Clark. Write that name in your book, fans. He's going to be a star of the future, that kid. Beautiful play. Tagging up on the inside. A little bit of a swan dive. No, it wasn't a swan dive. It was a nice belly dive there, Zono. Did you like that?
Yeah, he got up too. He's so nimble for a big man. He reminds me a lot of Glenn Lazarus, the way he goes quick play the balls. He's so nimble and athletic for a big guy. He was 145 kilos, got himself down to 110, playing great football, and has re-signed this week for 2 more years with the Storm to the end of 2029. So I tell you what, they've got a good one there, and if you keep running off Cam Munster, he's going to put you in some holes. Cooper Clark, he's a good one. There's no way about that one.
And that's 20 points to 4, kick to come. All off the back, as mentioned. You know, it was a 50-50 play in the in-goal area. Hughes not only saved the try, but he ran 40 upfield, and now the score still get points off the back of it. Manny straight in front, converts the try. He's 3 from 4 on the night. And there's 22 and a half minutes to go, and Melbourne lead Parramatta by 22 points to 4 around the grounds in the AFL. Western Bulldogs 5-6-36 lead Carlton 4-7-31. That game's in the third quarter. Second half Super Rugby, the Force still lead the Reds. Scoreline there, Force 19, Reds 14. And then the A-League men, still no goals in the second leg of that semi-final between the Jets and Sydney FC, so it remains tied up 1-1 on aggregate. Cooper Clark. Yeah, Glenn Lazarus. That's a heady description, but certainly from a physical perspective in size, and I think in engine, this young lad's got a chance to certainly, well, to have early comparisons to the Brickwood Eyes and the great Melbourne Premiership player, Canberra Premiership player, Broncos Premiership player.
So they've got a good one there, Q. I've watched him come through the the junior rep grades up here in Queensland and schoolboy football, and yeah, you could just see it. As soon as you saw it, you knew he was going to bigger and better things, that young man.
And now Liero rolls down the middle of the park, mid-set, off the kickoff. Stormer only a couple inside their own half. And look to have the hook on the till here now. The purple Parramatta are under pressure. And they've copied a couple of magic round thumpings from the Storm over the years. Last play here. And Hughes is only 40 from the goal line when he bombs downfield. Addo Carr's under it for Parra. Catches it defensive left corner for the Eels. And the veteran winger, of course, former Melbourne Storm player. He is tackled 16-17 metres from his own line. Off fed in field, and Harry Grant puts a shot on Sean Russell, who goes to deck and is jumped on by Udoikamanu. Eels to the 20. Now DeBellin gains 10 metres, one man right of the ruck. Parramatta up to the 30, plays the ball out of Papandi. Long ball to right in centre field. Moses is there. Pops it up, but no room on the straightening run there of Samrani. Back to the right, Moses feeds the inside line. Kelly running laterally across the 40. Runs into 3 defenders, Brian Kelly. And referee Goff says that's 5. And the Eels are 5 inside their own half. So Moses receives and will again boot the Eels downfield at the end of the set. It's a bit of a torpedo, which is a wobbler, and knocked on by Failungo. He cleans up his mess, but that's a knock-on. And the trajectory of that one always had a bit of a question mark about it for the fullback. He's knocked it on.
One of those really tough ones. It was a spiralling one, but it was floating away from Failungo. And you could hear that Big chase coming down over there. I think he might have had a little look as well.
Oh, it was one of those devilish sort of spinning wobblers.
Yeah.
And
why the kickers need more of those.
Para have got to score soon, you'd think. 22-4. They're not playing all that well, but if they get a try, who knows? Things can change. Boltman receives left. Gives it to Papali. Simple left side shift off the scrum, and the Eels do score. Joash Papali goes in. That's exactly what Parramatta needed. That's exactly what the contest needed. A pretty soft try off the set piece for Parramatta. And the fullback goes in. Storm 22, Eels 8, kick to come, 20 minutes to play.
Yeah, they look like that. All the running there, the Melbourne Storm, uncharacteristic error coming up from the little fullback Farlungo, straight off the scrum. Papali, he's been one of their best two here tonight, Parramatta. He's tried really hard. It's on the outside of Joey Chan. Way out of position there, but a little bit the big fella. Bit of speed, strength and power there, Zano. That's a great try. They're back in this match.
Yeah, I mentioned Lasardi's been going so well on that edge, and now Chan's out there, and that's a big concern for the Melbourne Storm because that was just given up too easy there. Papali's a good player, but they were backtracking, and of course wasn't enough trust there from the man on the outside, Warbrick, to actually just stay out of it, and in the end try a score as Mitchell's right in front of me again, kid.
It's yours again, Zano. You're in a great spot there. Moses, 3 metres in from the touchline.
4 metres of the 20-metre line. He strikes it, but it's to the left. No goal. In fact, I'm 0-2 now, so I think the goal kickers won't like it too much.
Near side again, Moses.
That hurts them too. Makes it a 14-point difference. Knocks out one of those, only a couple of converted tries in it for extra point, extra time.
Dane Bojack on the touchline. Clinton Sapowski next to yours truly, Quentin Hull. And we've got 19 minutes left. A bit of Farnsey in the house. Everyone's just walking back to halfway. From weary of this. Okay, now they'll play down the DJ and we're ready to go. As Failongo, he's got rid of the helmet now, Failongo. It's weird how he sort of has it on and then takes it off. He's kicked off and
he's obviously blamed the headgear for the drop ball.
And Parramatta's got the ball with the carry there of DeBella, 15 from his own line. Now Pryke's got it up to the 20 and Barlaw on a rumble up to the 30. So Parramatta working their way upfield in fine conditions on this Saturday night. Good run to Silver out of dummy half. Got it back to Saxon Pryke. He's tackled a couple of metres short of halfway. Momentum in this set for the Eels. To the left. Moses on to Volkman. Steps infield. Gets past Clark. Now Volkman puts on another little shimmy and Clark comes eventually with the help of Lasardi and also Uduikamanu to make the tackle. Last play Para. 30 from the Storm line. Moses with the bomb at the end of the set. It's going to come down attacking left side on Mini. Knocked it on. It rolls into the in-goal area. And the referee's going to give a penalty to Melbourne anyway because he was tackled in the air, Nick Meany. I think it was Dak DeBella who didn't give Meany a fair chance to catch that. So they're going to have a challenge.
Challenge to the foul player, but tackle in the air.
Well, I'm just saying that. So DeBella was near the bottom of it. Maybe Sam Rani was underneath. Screen. Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? I don't.
Nice for it to be, but still.
Yeah, but you can't put yourself in that position, can you? Sam Rani was sort of.
Both players here are actually looking at the ball. Have hands up to compete. No deliberate action. It's inevitable contact, which isn't a penalty. It's no foul. Ball's then knocked on by Nick Meany.
Wow.
Can we get this? He did have eyes on the ball that both hands
with this rule.
Knock on from Melbourne.
I'm so confused.
Well, I think that's the right call.
Yeah. But we haven't been adjudicating it like that for years.
I'm going with it. I've got.
Now, Harry Grant's arguing the toss. There you go. So that's a knock on from Meany. when Semrani, who didn't really leap to catch against him, but did arrive in a position where the ball could have dropped into his hands.
Doesn't know he needs to.
Didn't really tackle him in the air.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
What was that called before?
Apart from the fact that I have to rewire my brain as to what we had been playing the last 5 years. You know what I mean? Anyway, right side shift off the restart play from Parramatta, and Kelly is tackled 8 metres out. So chance for the Eels, 17 and a half to go. Melbourne lead 22-8. Parramatta through Junior Barlaw rumbles forward, but into the tackle of Uda Wikamanu. And the veteran prop forward for the Eels plays it 11 metres out. De Silva to the right for Moses. Gives it on to Williams, who's cut down around the ankles. Good tackle from Bloor. Ball played 5 from the goal line out on the right. Back to left and centre field with the pass to Moses through the hands to Boltman. Left side shift. Russell puts the steps and got past Chan, but gets taken down by the tackle of Basadi. And there's offside Melbourne, 6 more. Parramatta receive it here. Price got it. Tackled on the 10, just left the H-pole at the Caxton Street end. De Silva a dummy half, passes right. Boltman, second man Moses, second man Vides. Papali tries to get through Howard, but Howard makes the tackle. A couple of metres from the goal line out on the right wing. Swung back towards the centre field. Moses put a step to get around Liero, but the second man there cut him down. Good tackle from Bloor, try-saver. Play to De Silva, given to Boltman, given to Paolo. He passes back to the blind for Papali. Runs into the tackle of Liero, who holds him up a couple of metres out. Last play, Parra. Crash ball to Bellin. De Bellin's tackled. Can't get an offload away. And the Storm survive.
You know what? Ronald Boltman's blowing up because he could see that they've got a mismatch. They've got Sean Russell on Joe Chan because Nick Meaney's had to go over the other side to cover Moses Leo's wing. So that's where they got to go, and they kept going right. But now a good run through the middle by Warbrick Q.
16 minutes left in the game. And Melbourne lead 22 points to 8. Magic round on ABC Sport. And I reckon we're just under half full. The house has still got a hum about it. Hung around. It's been a long day of footy, and this one's far from decided. Mind you, if you're in purple, you're used to having fruitful seasons, but the last couple of months you'll hang around for any result, which looks like it's going to be a good one. And the Storm leading this one. And now Josh King's back out there, and the big forward's taken. Melbourne 8 from there. From the halfway line inside their own half. Udo Ikamanu distributes right to Hughes, who has a bit of a run, but he's dragged down by Boltman. Last tackle called. Quick play the ball. The helmetless player Longmore bombs from dummy half. It's a shallow bomb, and that'll be a penalty against Lasati, who jumped at the ball nowhere near contesting it and took the Parramatta player out. I get that one. That was clear cut, wasn't it, Clinton?
Yeah, it was, but Harry Grant still asking the question. How's that any different to the other one down the other end? Good old Harry.
Moses with the boot downfield. Repeating Parramatta. Oh, Zano, did you catch it?
No, I wanted to give him the crowd, but I have already done my duty. J-Moz did the job for a rival network.
So the kick finds touch about 40 metres from the Storm line. First carry from Russell, who's a bit sore getting up and playing the ball there. 10 in from the left and 35 from the goal line. Couple of sets of hands back to the centre third, and Junior Barlaw backs his way forward. Stands Big Junior with 3 around him. He'll play at 34 metres out. De Silva passes left for Moses. Back to the inside line on the run there of Bright. Taken 22 metres out. Plays it quickly. De Silva passes right for Moses. Over the 20, passes right. Papali chimes in, gets through Liero, but he can't get through the second wave of defence. It was Munster making the tackle. De Silva back to the left for Moses. Passes across the 10 to Pryke. He stopped under the black dot. 3 metres out. Last play Parramatta. They trail 22-8. To the left, Moses through the hands. It's given to the edge for Boltman. He has to stop. Gets through a Chan tackle. Passes infield. Back to Moses, who now kicks for the right wing. Kelly will catch it. Kelly grubbers for the in-goal area. Munster's there. Dead ball line close. Players sprawling. Referee says as the ball goes dead. Who touched it last?
Just confirm the ball's not dead here by Melbourne. How did I get a hand to it?
Okay.
Ooh, I thought it went dead, Q.
Well, no, I think it was. There were two power players plus Munster going for the ball.
Parramatta could take one side.
Semrani was going for it. Williams was going for it, and
Did he toe to it, Munster? I think he did.
It's a touched first, though.
Parramatta make the ball dead. We have a decision.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jack Williams has made it dead, apparently.
Coming. Just wait, Will.
Oh, I can tell you, Josh Adokar and Sean Russell were absolutely blowing up, saying, how many tackles do you have to waste on the right-hand side and attack do you need to have before you come back to us on the left? They could see the try line open. Once again, Parra kept going the wrong way.
13 and a half minutes to go in the last game of the Saturday of Magic Round 2026 on ABC Sport. And it's the beaten grand finalists of last year who broke a 7-game losing streak last week against the Tigers. They're ahead of Parramatta by 22 points to 8 as Grant up the halfway passes to King, and King rolls down the left edge, and the Storm are 40 metres out, 15 in from touch on the left wing side as King gets to his feet, plays the ball to Grant. There's half a fight between Moses and King on the mark. Anyway, I'll see Munster kick it downfield. Oh, it's a wobbly ball, and O'Carr knocks it on, going to Anita to try and catch it. The Fox with a fumble, sliding to his knees to catch that mung of a left foot kick across the ground, Quentin.
Aren't all of Munster's kicks like that, John?
He's a good left foot kicker, mate. He's one of their stronger kickers in the camp. He gets a nice result off that one. Yeah, we're just watching the replay here. Mitch Moses and Josh King going at it.
Just pushing each other for a moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Forearm to the chin.
Josh King's got the bumpers up right in the throat of Mitch Moses.
Give me that apple. Yeah. So Melbourne, this is the chance to kill off the game here. 20-metre scrum centre field. Hughes to the left. Munster dances past one before being put down off. Samrani was beaten pointlessly there, but Kelly makes the tackle on Munster out on the defensive right for Parra. Pass back to the right. Hughes, King drops it. There's footy karma for you. King has dropped it. Melbourne has lost it. Williams picks up for Parramatta. The Eels have the ball on their own 20. 22 to 8, 12 minutes left in the game. Perhaps time enough if they can create something quickly enough, Eels. Volkman tackled on the 20. He'll play the ball in the centre of the park to Silva, or gives it on to Moretti, who's back out there. Good charge. Dozen on the game from Luca Moretti. He'll play the ball to De Silva. Now through the hands to the right. Moses pops it up for Semrani, and Jordan Semrani tackled 8 inside his own half of the Eels on the right edge. De Silva out of dummy half, passes back to the centre third for DeBellin. Not a great gain on the run there. Tackled by Grant and also Lasati, but DeBellin steps off the mark. So now he has to play it again with the defensive line set, 45 out to the left. Moses to Volkman, dummies, jives, jinks, runs into Hughes, runs into King, gets an offload away. Second face here, Moretti passes. Oh, nice ball there from Pryke. He had Papali backing up, but he's tackled well by Munster, 25 out. Parramatta run it to the right. Moses grubbers for the in-goal area. Flail long on, knocks it dead. Cam Munster's made some good tackles tonight.
He was out of form. His defence was poor as well at the start of the season. He was missing tackles. Wasn't wanting to get into tackles. But you're right, Q. He's putting the body on the line tonight.
Goal line dropout coming up here for Melbourne. 10 and a half minutes to go. By the way, Sydney FC has scored in that second half of the A-League men's second leg semi-final, so they now lead on aggregate 2-1. Wow. 1 tonight over the Jets. Oh, and there is a dropout timer in free. You heard the buzzer, and it's a penalty to the Eels. They took too long for the dropout.
Just wait for me. Hold back.
Just about every kind of mistake has been committed from these teams tonight.
Out there, release him.
Clinton Sifrovsky, the obliger of the game here to finish the Saturday of Magic Round. Storm won't care if they get the 2 points. It's 2 points no matter what, whether they played great or won a bludger. Now, Parramatta, Pryke goes forward. He's under the black dot again, so 9.5 to go. If they score here, Parramatta, there's optimistic hope for Eels fans. Joash Papali's chiming in on that right edge dangerously, but again, Munster's the one to stop him. Played 8 metres out, back to the left and centre field. Moses floats a long ball to Volkman. Overlap, passes to Russell. Russell should score or give it. Did neither! Got caught short and didn't pass to the Fox. Oh, that is a bludgeoning play, that one. Volkman kicks it towards the goal line. Left that and caught by the Storm. Howard's got it. And Sean Russell, he's had a pretty good game there, but if he took it on, he had to go in. Poor old Josh Adokar was at the prom without a date.
Zane Bojack has been into him to get it out to the left to Sean Russell. They finally get it to him, and he butchers it, Zano.
Oh, well, you can't get up your halves if you get the football and you don't make the use of it. Unbelievable. Josh Adokar's trying to say to himself, do you know I'm trying to get in the Origin side? Give me the football.
And Surfire Longo's just having a bit of a limp in back play, Zano. So keep an eye on that late in this game. 8.5 minutes left. Melbourne with it. And they've worked their way up to within 10 of halfway. Inside the 40, Hughes puts a kick downfield, which threatens the touchline, but it's caught by Joash Papali. He's kept trying, the Parramatta fullback.
Absolutely.
He's tackled 15 from halfway.
Yeah, he hasn't given up all night, the kid.
Now, Adokar flings a long ball to the centre of the field, and Semrani slips up and falls over. Ruck infringement, 6 more here for Para. You hear the ping-ping in the background. Brian Kelly on one out blindside run. He's got 3 around him to drive him into death. He'll play it out there, a dozen inside Parramatta territory. Melbourne leading 22-8, only 8 minutes left in this game. On Magic Round on ABC Sport. De Silva's pass was very low. Volkman had to trap it with his boot, picks it up, gives it to Adokar. But Hughes is in front of him, along with Lasardi, and they make the tackle on Josh Adokar. 9 metres inside Parramatta territory. Now De Silva passes Moses in centre field, gives it on to Moretti. Moretti's put down. Not much innovation in this set from the Eels to this point. Last play on halfway. Moses bombs. It's a deep one. Failongo without helmet with dodgy ankle catches. Oh, he doesn't look dodgy at the moment. He's run away from 2. Failongo was limping a moment ago. Now he goose steps in and out, in and out. He beats Papali, got ankle tapped though by Adokar and stopped 9 metres out. Well, that was stunning from Failongo. Munster out a dummy half. Passes to Harry Grant. Coup de grace. Try Melbourne. Storm will win. And again, Failongo was dead set limping 30 seconds ago, but he turned himself into a sprinter with a great run downfield on. And poor old Joash Papali, look left, look right, look left again, had him beaten. Adokar ankle tapped him, but then ball played to Munster, given a Grant. End of section. Melbourne 26, Parramatta 8. It comes 6.5 to go.
Yeah, the spine have been scintillating here tonight for the Melbourne Storm, and they've been the absolute difference. Just blowing them away here. Those 4 key players. Failongo had a couple of errors, but he's been dynamic with the ball in hand. He's a real handful. It's exciting to watch. And Harry Grant, he deserves that try, Zano. He's been the hardest trying player on that field all evening.
Absolutely does, and he's tried everything he can to get his side home here tonight, and he deserves that try, Harry. Look, I want to ask you, Clinton, put your Raiders jersey back on. You're wearing the number 1. You've got this bloke coming at him. Do you try and leave him on the outside, or what do you do? Because poor old Joash Papali, he had no chance then.
Oh, I thought he did really well, actually, Josh Papali. He knew he couldn't stop him by himself, so he just backed off, held some time. He got turned inside out 2 or 3 times, but the support came and they handled him, but the quick play of the ball just blew them apart through the middle.
Meany conversion from straight in front, knocks it over. 4 from 5 off the kicking tee tonight for Nick Meany. And the Storm are going to go back to back and get a bit of momentum again in this 2026 season.
And they're back.
28 points to 8 the score.
Are they back?
Are they back? Well, they've beaten the West Tigers and they've beaten Parramatta. But as much as they've beaten the West Tigers and they've beaten Parramatta, their key players have not looked anywhere near it until the last fortnight. And that's probably the key. The scary thing for the competition is that, Hughes has been a bit injured, Munster's been out of form, Failongo's been great, and Grant's starting to get into Superman form.
And they've got the Dogs next week without their Origin stars too, which doesn't make it easy for the Storm.
The Burleigh Bears have beat the Dogs. Then they've got the Roosters, Knights, both at home.
Yeah.
Raiders at home. Oh, wow. Yeah.
5 minutes to go here. We'll get through all of that in the post-game. You can keep your messages coming on 0467 920 222. Melbourne with the ball. King's got it, and another 6 again coming here. And no, it's Grant playing it. In fact, 15 from halfway, given to the right edge, and a little rumble there from Masati, taken 10 from halfway, feeds it to the inside line of Chan, and Joe Chan will get tackled. So Manly earlier today, along with North Queensland and Melbourne, they'll be the 3 winners for you on this Saturday of Magic Round. 0467 920 222, the text message number. What do we got? 4.5 left in this one as forward goes Stanley Hewen. He's made his debut tonight. That's a big moment for the lad from, not debut, second game, on for his second game. That first game in Brisbane for a Brisbane boy. He loved playing on the cauldron tonight. Hughes will kick at the end of the set, 35 metres out. He hits it with his right boot, comes down about 10 out. It's off the noggin of Joash Papali on the deck. Grant picks it up, play on, passes to Munster, slips over, gets tackled. Yep, that just happened. Hit a bloke's head, another bloke slipped over. What did you call it? A bludger. Plenty. Oh, big Josh King's going to clutch over and score a big man try right at the end of the game. Has he grounded it? Yes. Yes, yes. First try of the season for Josh King. And Melbourne go 32-8 ahead with a kick to come with 3.5 minutes to go.
He's got through a stack of work as well here tonight. Big shift for big Josh King, and he probably deserves that one as well. He'll enjoy that. 5, 6 metres out. You'll tell everyone it was 60 metres out. Yeah, just Joash Papali. He went eye for it, hit him in the back of the head there.
Yeah. And then Munster slipped over.
You know what? Josh King will enjoy that even more because it gets him off the nerdy run, Clinton. Nothing front rowers love more than getting over the stripe. 15th career try and first of the season.
Pressure's off now. He might score 10 for the season now. Zano?
Well, look, this is one of the things, I mentioned earlier in the call. You can't have your halves going forward if your front row and your middles aren't going forward. And there's no doubt about it. In recent weeks, Josh King, Stefano Ludukamanu, Tretley Hero, they have stepped up and played better. And that helps your edge back rowers, and that helps your halves. And all of a sudden, the thing starts clicking. And as you know, 2 wins in a row now might turn into 3.
And the addition to Cooper Clark, when they were starting him at the start of the year, he was playing edge back row. Now they've got Lasardi playing back row. They can get Cooper Clark into the middle. And he's been damaging as well, Zano. Getting on the front foot, carrying the ball strongly, setting that platform for his spine.
Nick Meaney will try and convert. He's had a good night with the boot. 4 from 5 to this point, and this not the most testing of assignments either. 10 metres to the right of the uprights. 3.5 minutes to go. This for 34-8 for Melbourne. Approaches, strikes well, and raises the flags. 5 from 6 on the night for Nick Meaney. So just repeating, Melbourne's next assignment is a game against Canterbury Bankstown where both teams don't have their origin players. And most importantly, I think for Melbourne, Jerome Hughes is around. So he'll be around. Does Tyron Wishart come back? No, not yet. He's still a bit out, a bit away.
Stephen Crichton didn't make the Blues side, so maybe he's...
Oh, you'd reckon he'd be there in some capacity. Because I've got to pick 19, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I've got to pick 19 of them these days. So...
Do you reckon the Eels hate playing Melbourne at Magic Round? 64-10 they lost in 2019, 48-16 they lost in 2024, and now at the moment it's 34 points to 8.
They're improving, Zane. They're improving. So first time they played them, they conceded 64 in 2019. Next time they played them in 2024, they conceded 48. And they've only conceded 34 tonight. And hold on, there's a little bit of a dust-up going on here.
Here we go.
Not far from you, Zane. What's going on there?
Yeah, look, Talon De Silva's in there, along with Suafai Longo. The 2 little bantamweights having a little bit of a take-to-take.
So Storm will be 4 and 7, and the Eels will be 4 and 7 as well. Parra got the bye, and off the back of Origin, they then play Newcastle in the Hunter. Penalty to the Melbourne Storm here against the Eels. Mitchell Moses is expletive laden as he walks away from that penalty. If you heard that. Well, we're getting close to the action, aren't we? It's 9:30, just beyond PG time for that to go to air. Apologies, but yeah, Mitch is not happy. Mitch is not happy. 2.5 minutes left. Has Melbourne got another highlight for us to complete this Saturday of Magic Round at the Cauldron? Forward goes David Mawale, tackled 35 metres out in centre field. It's passed to King in the middle of the park, passes right for Hughes, pops it up for Lasardi, dragged down by Volkman around his ankles, got some help up top from Russell. Played by Lasardi, 25 out. Given to Hughes, gives it on to King. King takes it forward into the tackle of Paulo, and he gets some help, and King will now play it 15 out. There's a Parramatta man in the ruck, penalty. That's a penalty. Saxon Pryke was in the wrong spot. 1:40 to go.
Harry's been given an early mark, getting himself ready for Wednesday, a couple of weeks from now.
Storm take the tap and have one last rumble. And as much as they've had a bad winning or a bad losing run, their points differential's not all that bad. It's only -34 coming into this game, so they've almost got back to par. Only -8, might be -4. Left side shift. Fa'alonga gets the offload away, but the Parramatta defence comes to get in the way there of, well, Howard chucked it out the back at the end and then picked up by a Melbourne player in an offside position after a knock-on. Penalty to Parramatta.
That'll be all she wrote. Q, minute remaining.
Someone's texted me, the game is done. Time for you, Q, to sing some more Farnsey, LOL.
Give us the score of the Super Rugby 2, Q, just quietly.
Yeah, full-time force 1, 19-14. Thank you for reminding me of that, Zane. And, dare I say it, Carlton's in the game against the Western Bulldogs.
Oh, there you go. What is it, the bounce-back factor?
I'll choke.
The old, after the week after Michael Voss has fallen on his sword there, we'll do the last 30 seconds here. We'll get Zane's interviews, your texts as well, and we'll wrap up this big day at the Cauldron. Para with it on halfway. Moses passes. Volkman feeds it to the left edge for Russell. Tries to fend away from the tackle of Chan, but Chan drags him down. Hard on left touch, 40 metres from the Storm line. 12 seconds left in the game. Maybe 2 plays, maybe 1. Junior Paulo's got it. He's flat-footed and he's put to death. He'll just play the ball before the hooter. Parramatta with one last play to get something else out of this game. They run it and make a line break. Luca Moretti right on the ruck. Passes infield to Moses. Moses chips, but it's taken by Jerome Hughes, who runs it to the Caxton Street end and boots the ball dead to end the game, to end the Saturday of Magic Round 2026. And Melbourne join Manly and North Queensland as the winners on this Saturday of footy at the Cauldron, and the beaten grand finalists have now turned a 7-game losing run into back-to-back wins. Both teams are 4 wins and 7 losses. Storm led 10-4 at halftime and win the game 34 points to 8. Tries to Leo, Howard, Munster, Clark, Grant and King. Meany kicked 5 goals from 6 attempts. And for the Eels, Russell and Papali, the try scorers. Moses missing both conversion attempts. Melbourne 34. Parramatta 8. Clinton Chifovsky to wrap it up. Zane's interviews always a highlight, and your thoughts as well on 0467 920 222.
Yeah, a really scrappy game. I just think the class of the spine for the Melbourne Storm are just too good here for Parramatta. Starting to find some form, Q, so it's ominous for the rest of the competition. Still a long way to go, I think, for Melbourne, but they're ticking along in the right direction. And Harry Grant, he's the catalyst. We touched on it a number of times in the call. He's just so smart in and around the ruck, and just his footy IQ as well. Knows how to control the game. Jerome Hughes as well, starting to come into his own. Cameron Munster defending a lot better. Lungo at the back. He's just dynamic. Every time he has the ball, there's something on. So they're building nicely.
And I think the difference that's obvious when we now can refer to, well, can the Storm do what Penrith did last year and get on a run? And we were asking questions, well, how did Penrith survive the Origin period? Fair enough to say that there's probably a bit more depth in that Penrith squad than there is in this Melbourne squad. That's the first question that comes to my mind, Jock.
And a
fair
bit
enough.
Class as well.
Yeah.
Respectively.
But at the same time,
Penrith had. have.
Melbourne have been masters of being able to fill holes over the years, but has the player drain and those unfortunate injuries and illness issues to Katoa and Kamakamitha. Again, they're just guys that they're good players. They're good week-to-week first graders that are out for an indefinite period of time. And, you know, we saw Xavier Coates down in the tunnel earlier. He's still to come back from that Achilles injury, and you know, we're not sure if he is going to come back and just what form he'll be. He looked as fit as 10 men when we saw him. You said good day to him, but, well, you know.
Muscles popping out of him.
Yeah. So that's probably the concern for Melbourne fans, thinking, well, if Penrith did it, why can't we? Well, look, maybe you can, but certainly, if asked the question, at face value, I don't think they have the same depth as the Panthers.
No, they
and
don't.
the predicament that Penrith was in same time last year before the Panthers got all the way to the preliminary final. But hey, they're a professional outfit that's hit back. Both teams are 4 and 7, and Jason Riles in year 2 of his tenure is probably looking at where does our improvement come from here? Zanos is having a wander around. He's got Jerome Hughes in his sights. He's as good as any. Zano, what a player, Jerome Hughes.
He's absolutely sensational and great kicking game tonight once again. Jerome, 2 wins in a row now. Are things starting to turn around for the Storm?
Oh, yeah, it's a good win, mate. You know, you just got to find as much wins as you can, and we haven't been doing that, but I feel like the last 2 weeks we've been able to do it, but we just got to keep improving. We can't just sit after 2 wins and think it's going to happen. We need to keep going after it.
How much responsibility is there for you coming up against the Dogs, because you're probably going to lose Harry and Cam, and you're on a rebuild? It's not often that you guys have to try and fight your way back from the bottom of the ladder. How important is it that you can stand up as a leader next week?
Yeah, I think you know, it's going to be tough without those guys, but I can't try to do everything myself. You know, I can, you know, lift a bit of leadership around the club, but I think the boys that will come in, I just got to back them and make them play their game and give them confidence to play. So yeah, I'll be doing that.
Well, going from yourself, one of the most experienced, to one of the most inexperienced, Cooper Clark, how good is that kid? Magnificent, his try tonight, and just seems to make every post a winner.
Yeah, mate, he's a good kid, and he's going to be a great player for a long time. And you know, he's probably the future of our club right now, and he's only like you said, he's just a kid, so I can't wait to see him grow.
When you lost Moses Leo, you had to chuck Joe Chan out in the centres, mate. It was a bit of a mismatch on Russell, but he did his job.
Yeah, mate, he's been, you know, he played really well for us to start, and you know, I think his biggest attribute is his utility, and you know, it's not easy going out there in the centres, but I thought he'd done a great job.
All right, Jerome, well, I really appreciate chatting to you. Best of luck next week, and may it roll on for the Storm.
Thanks, mate, appreciate it.
Jerome Hughes, superstar, and will be around during the Origin period when the likes of Harry Grant and Cam Munster are taken away from this Melbourne team to fulfil Queensland duties. Good work, Zano. We'll stay close. Storm 34-8 over Parramatta. Joy says she's a Cowboys fan. I'm glad Para lost. Shouldn't have won last week. Cows took the eye off the ball with a few minutes to go. Well, the Cows, they had a good win earlier today. We'll wrap that up as well. 18-12 North Queensland over the Roosters. Manly 46 to West Tigers 18. Darren says, I've never watched or listened to worse footy than this year. I'm starting to lose interest. Oh, that's sad, Darren. You know, is it the 6 again or the dropsies? Anyway, thanks for your text. Back to you, Zane.
I'm down here with one of my main men. He didn't get a lot of ball tonight, unfortunately, and he's trying to force his way into this New South Wales team. Josh had a car so close tonight with you guys, just couldn't get across the line.
Yeah, it was a tough one, bro. I feel like we shot ourselves in the foot with all the penalties, all the 6 agains. And just didn't give ourselves a chance. We stuck in there. But Storm were too good of a team. Their spine, probably the best in the league, and we paid the price.
You had a mismatch on this left-hand side because you had Joe Chan up against Sean Russell. For some reason, the ball kept going over the other side on the right.
Yeah, well, you know, you got one of the best halfbacks in the game in Mitch, and you know, usually when he calls the ball, it goes there. So, like I said, too many errors there. Shot ourselves in the foot. Have to go back to the drawing board and learn our lessons.
I know you've got a bye next up, but are you hopeful that you're going to be part of the Blues team?
Oh, hopefully, bro. Yeah, if Laurie thinks I can do a job, and do a job for our state and our families, and I'll definitely give it a red hot crack, that's for sure.
Well, I know one thing, you won't let New South Wales down if you do get the chance. You're one of my favourite players. Bad luck tonight, Joshy, but best of luck when the selection rolls around on Monday morning.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it a lot, bro. Come in.
Well, you got 2 extras at the end, but he's a bit flat. If you only get 4 bras in a Josh Adokar interview, Zane, that's probably an all-time low. Zano, there's usually more bras than a Hugh Hefner party, but that was very low on the bra count there.
Absolutely, and usually he gives me the handshake, but not this time, so I think he might be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, a bit flat. Bit flat. So the Eels off the back of that Golden Point win against North Queensland last week. They dropped one here, saying, yeah, they're up and down a bit. 4 wins, 7 losses by next week, and then Newcastle in the hunt to post-Origin 1, whereas the Storm, they played the Bulldogs at Stadium Australia next week with both the Dogs and Storm without their Origin players. And their next home game is off the back of Origin 1 when they play the Roosters in Melbourne. Terry from Coonabarabran says, loving the call. Can you tell me what the highest points start is in the last 10 years? Because I think the Dragons will beat it tomorrow. Yeah, Dragons versus Penrith last game. I don't have that stat, but we are going to go through those 3 games. Newcastle v Gold Coast, Brisbane v Warriors, and Penrith v St George Illawarra are the 3 fixtures to complete Magic Round. Sorry, Dano?
I think the Dragons got about 28 points start, Q, but I don't think that's even going to be enough.
Is that for the first half?
Oh, gee, you're harsh, Clinton. We've still got to get your 3, 2 and 1. By the way, Carlton's in front by 11 points in the last quarter against the Western Bulldogs. Sack coach win game, or have coach leave win game. 8-12-60 to 7-7-49. There's still about 12 minutes of that game to go. If you want to hear it, more live sport available on ABC Listen on the red and blue button. Force won the Super Rugby game by 19 points to 14 over the Reds, and Newcastle Jets have levelled it up on aggregate. It's 1-1 against Sydney FC, 2-2 second half. Let's get back down to Zane.
Yeah, I got the Queensland skipper here with me. You played well the last couple of weeks. You're just getting yourself ready to run around in maroon?
Oh, look, it's been nice to put the maroon on, but hey, at the end of the day, we'll see what the selectors and that want to do. Played a pretty good game of footy, but I guess that's not everything, so everyone wants a piece of me now, so yeah, looking forward to it, and hopefully I'm named in the squad on Monday.
Well, how pleasing is it that if you do go into Origin, which I expect you will, you're going in off 2 wins with the Storm? Because I'm guessing if it was the alternate, you wouldn't be a very happy person.
Well, look, I think a lot of people have probably been speaking around, like, sometimes you need to get away from clubland, just be rejuvenated and just have a bit more fresh air. But after the 2 wins, you can obviously go in there with a bit of, like stepping your skip and looking really excited to go in the camp. So, look, we're very excited, and we'll see where we go in the next couple of weeks.
What's been the difference? How have you turned around the last couple of weeks as opposed to previous 7?
We just defended our errors. We're defending really well, scrambling for each other. At the end of the day, defence team, I know defence wins games, but at the moment with the way the 6 agains are going, it's attack. You can't afford to be sitting back and playing negative footy, because teams can score points now, and you look at all the score lines, like big score lines. So yeah, and obviously the 6 agains are here to stay, so we need to adapt, and I think we didn't do that for that 5 or 6 week period. I think we were kicking cans and being victims, and I was probably being a victim too, going, this is not what we want to do, this is not the football, but at the end of the day, that's a product that the NRL wants, so that's something we just got to adapt to and move on, and we have. So we've bit on a mouth guard and worked hard as a group, and that's all you can do.
All right, just finally, we've seen a shootout between Sam Walker and Jake Clifford. We know that Jamal Fogarty got a victory today for Manly. Do you care who's beside you in the maroon wearing the number 7?
I'm going to get picked first, so whoever's in the spine, like I spoke about, there's some great candidates like you spoke about. But at the end of the day, if I'm in the squad, I'm in the squad, and I'm going to enjoy the week and just be around the lads. So hopefully I'll get the call. Looking forward to it. I'll be making sure, if I don't get the call, I'll be ringing Billy and saying, what's going on?
Yeah, I bet you will, mate. I really appreciate chatting to you, Camp. Best of luck in camp. I'm sure, once again, you'll bring some really positive spirit to the Queensland team. You need someone who's got a positive attitude. There's no one with a better positive attitude than you.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, go Queensland.
Zane, good chat with Cam Munster, and to have a senior player of the competition just speak about the way that his journey has gone through the first 11 weeks of the season, not just with his club, but I think, to have a senior head Just explain what it's like when the game's been tweaked and you're trying to play with it when you're out of form and losing. Yeah, there was some good stuff in that. Meaty stuff about the journey of what a senior player, let alone the Storm, have been on this season so far. Clinton, good one from Zano there, and some good stuff from Cam Munster.
Yeah, great interview, Zano. That's, I think Cameron Munster said it. Yeah, the rules, they've got to adapt to it. Simple as that. So they're working hard at that. Looks like it's coming to fruition for them, the Melbourne Storm. But the game definitely has sped up. You need to be a lot fitter, faster, and you make errors, you put yourself under pressure, and that's what Parramatta did tonight. Okay, Clinton, we've got a couple of minutes to wrap things up here. Let's get your 3, 2 and 1 for the Player of the Year votes. Melbourne has beaten Parramatta 34-8, scoring 6 tries to 2 to join Manly and North Queensland as the winners of earlier today. What do you got for us, Jock? Yeah, 3 points, Harry Grant. He was superb last week in their big win over the Tigers as well, but terrific again tonight. Even just his game management, just the way he captains his team, leads his team. He's a class act, and he'll be front and centre in a couple of weeks on a Wednesday night for Queensland as well. So he gets my 3. 2 points, Jerome Hughes. I thought he was really, really good, Jerome. Come up with a couple of big plays. That one coming out of the in goal, we remember as well. We ran 40 metres and got them in great field position there, Q. So he did some great stuff with the ball in hand as well. At one point, the little fullback Farlungo, he's an excitement machine, and he made some really decisive runs in that game to split them open, the Parramatta Eels.
3 to Grant, 2 to Hughes, 1 to Fa'alongo for the votes from Clinton Chifosky as Melbourne win 34 points to 8. By the way, that Newcastle Jets equaliser in the A-League semi-final came in stoppage time.
Wow.
So they've gone to extra time. It's 2-2 on aggregate. The winner plays Adelaide in the grand final.
And that's the second game of a 2-leg game.
Sorry, Auckland.
Yeah, you can't beat soccer when it's close and exciting like that. It's great.
Yeah. Earlier today, Manly 46, West Tigers 18, North Queensland 18, Roosters 12. In a couple of minutes, Clinton, what else have you picked up today from the Saturday of Magic Round? I think the headlines are, the gloss of the first month of the season for Benji Marshall has disappeared. Like, what a change in fortune for those two clubs. If you ever want to see how quick things in footy can change, reverse 6 weeks to where Manly or 6 or 7 weeks to where Manly and the West Tigers were, and look at where they are now.
Yeah, not making excuses for the Tigers. I feel sorry for them, though. Getting on a roll, everything was looking rosy. Benji had him humming. Dewey goes down. Appy Coruscant, I think he got suspended for 3 weeks. And Jerome Puller, who I think is one of the best fullbacks in the competition, let alone best players in his team. So they've lost their 3 best players. You do that to the Melbourne Storm, and they're paddling as well. I think last week as well, Terrell May had to pull out on game day. His wife was having their first baby. So I don't want to say the wheels have fallen off at the Tigers, but once they get those players back, hopefully they can get things back on track, because when they're doing well, the competition's in good hands. It's great. It's good. It's exciting. Even now we look at Manly, who are winning games, playing some great footy as well. So there's different teams at the top of the table, which is great.
And a great win from the Cowboys to once again show their credentials.
Getting gone, weren't they?
Yeah.
5 weeks into the season.
And on 2 occasions, down a player in the sin bin today, but beat the Roosters 18-12. We're just about to wrap it up, Clinton. Thank you for your company. Thanks to Zane and Brad downstairs, to Branko on the faders, to everyone who's been a part of the broadcast today. Nelly back in the studio, of course. From noon tomorrow, Andrew and the team, they're broadcasting live from the Southern Concourse for the pre-game show. All 3 games of Sunday of Magic Round coming your way tomorrow on ABC Sport. Hope you can join us then. An ugly-looking kick from Taylor May.
Shocking kick.
Almost didn't hit his foot. Brooks takes it after it shunted its way 15 upfield. Passes to the left. Kohler's got a bit of space. Steps through the tackle at Taruva on halfway. Up to Mason. Runs through him. Runs through Madden. Still going over the 20 to the 10. What a beauty to start the Saturday of Magic Round. Garrick's got it on the right side. Oh, a little flick to Saab, who's over halfway. Beats a diving tackle there from Lalili. Gets past Mason, and Jason Saab runs 60 metres to double up for Manly. He goes underneath the black dot and puts it down. Now Manly on the attack again. Brooks, beautiful hands from Kohler to Hopewadi. Hopewadi screams down the left wing touchline, races 25 metres to score, and Manly is threatening to put on a cricket score here. There's still a couple of plays left here for Manly, only 8 metres out. Simpkin passes right, Brooks gives it on to Olakau'atu, steps infield, reaches out with a big left claw and slams it down for another Manly try. Manly leading 40 points to 8, and they go to the right. Olakau'atu fend off Fogarty over halfway. The ref goes down again. Olakau'atu's tackled. It's happening everywhere. Safe Bath got Atkins. Who got Olakau'atu? I reckon Lulai got him. Now blindside. Simpkin for Lalo. Saab has a magic round hat-trick. Manly Warringah 46 defeat the West Tigers 18.
Dummy half Zavala. He gets it away to the right. Tedesco then links up with Connor Watson away to Nafahu White, middle of the ground. Shrugged away from one, threw it on the ground, half volleyed by Watson. Watson puts in a stab kick, but Toya brilliant. Toya goes right to Ramsey. And Cody Ramsey's over to score a brilliant try. Great vision by Connor Watson. And what a moment for Cody Ramsey. He scooped on it. He scores a try in the corner. And the Sydney Roosters strike first. He plays it to Marnie. He spins it away right. Through hands it comes. Drinkwater to Clifford. Cut out ball. Out to the right wing. And diving over to score a try for the North Queensland Cowboys is the winger Braden Burns. Try to the Cowboys. They hit back. Marnie goes left. Finds Liam Sutton. Puts up a beautifully weighted cross-field kick. The ball's lost by the Roosters. Picked up by the Cowboys. And they've got a try. Johnny on the spot there was Drinkwater. He and Cotter were there in the in-goal area, and it's a try to North Queensland. Cowboys are in front. Marnie spins it away right. Clifford on the pass on. Sutton links up with Chester. Got it away to Burns. He's over. He takes Connor over the line with him. Try Cowboys. Brilliant work, Sutton and Chester, and a great finish by Burns. Game, set, bingo. Cowboys are going to beat the Roosters in an upset.
Plays the ball 30 out. De Silva to the left. Moses runs at the line. Got the pass away. Through to Bolton. Now out to the edge. And Russell gets through a tackle. And Russell scores the first try of the game for Parramatta. The Eels strike first against the Storm. Melbourne on the attack now. Lasardi stops 20 out. Left and centre field given it. Hughes on the Munster. Through the hands to the edge. And Moses Leo gets through Sam Rani to score in the left corner from Melbourne. Now Grant pushes away from Michael over halfway line break. Pass to Munster. Pass to Hughes. To triumphant combine. He passes to the left for Longo. Gets it to the edge for Howard. And Howard goes in the left corner for a Melbourne try that went through the trident of brilliance. Hughes at the line. He's got Clark running a crash ball line. Nice tackle from the Para defence to put him down. Quick play the ball. This is the last. They run it to the left. Grant to Hughes. Hughes to Munster. Munster scores the triumvirate. Do it again for the purple. Centre field and 15 out. Dare I say it, Clinton. The purple rain is coming. Oh, there it is. Munster outside in play to Cooper Clark. He scores. And the big human of 19 years of age is joyous at scoring at the cauldron. Moses bombs. It's a deep one. Failongo without helmet with dodgy ankle catches. Oh, he doesn't look dodgy at the moment. He's run away from two. Failongo was limping a moment ago. Now he goose steps in and out, in and out. He beats Papali, got ankle tapped though by Adokar and stopped 9 metres out. Well, that was stunning from Failongo. Munster out of dummy half. Passes to Harry Grant. Coup de grace. Try Melbourne. Storm will win.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rollins. A man has died after being bitten by a shark off the coast of Rottnest Island, west of Perth. The man was spearfishing off the western end of the island when he was bitten on the lower legs. The victim has been described as a 38-year-old man from the northern suburbs of Perth. Rottnest Island Police Sergeant Michael Weir says he could not be saved.
The victim was brought into the Geordie Bay jetty where emergency services have responded, and a 38-year-old male has been pronounced deceased after CPR has been administered, and his family has been advised of the incident.
The federal government has responded to the opposition leader Angus Taylor's vow to amend Australia's Sex Discrimination Act following a federal court ruling. Political reporter Lexi Junowick has more.
Yesterday, the federal court upheld a decision to rule the exclusion of a transgender woman from a female-only app constituted unlawful gender identity discrimination. Mr. Taylor says the outcome confirms that Australian law does not properly protect single-sex spaces for women and girls, and pledged the coalition will amend the Sex Discrimination Act if it wins government next election. In response, a federal government spokesperson says it believes all people are entitled to respect, and that 4 days after the federal budget, the Liberals are choosing to demonise migrants and focus on the court decision.
The United Arab Emirates Energy Minister says the country's decision to withdraw from OPEC was a sovereign and strategic choice. In a social media post, Minister Shahal Al-Masri insisted the choice was not politically motivated, nor does it reflect any division between the UAE and its partners. The UAE quit the Organisation of the Petroleum Exporting Countries on May the 1st, dealing a blow to the group amid an unprecedented energy crisis brought about by the war in the Middle East. Some Nigerians have welcomed a joint operation conducted by US and Nigerian forces that killed the Islamic State group's global second-in-command. US President Donald Trump announced the operation in a late-night social media post, saying Abu Bakr al-Manuki thought he could hide in Africa, but didn't know that sources were informing the US about his activities. The Nigerian national came to prominence in 2023 when the US sanctioned him as a global terrorist. Nigerian businessman Lucas Samuel is hopeful that the operation will lead to greater stability in the country.
If US can help us to eliminate all these things, I see nothing bad there. It is a very good information, and I pray that God will help them to succeed in their effort to make sure that peace return to this country.
Police in London say they're facing one of their most significant operations in years as thousands of officers attempt to manage two major rallies. Authorities have set up a sterile zone to separate a march organised by far-right activist Tommy Robb